Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Sumati Baral, coordinator of this AICT author-sponsored faculty development program on smart health technologies and medtech innovations, organized by the Department of MCA, Trident Academy of Technology, Bhubaneswar. I welcome you all to day 6, the final day of this intellectually enriching 6-day FDP. Over the last 5 days, we have explored a wide spectrum of cutting-edge technologies, that is from AI and IoT to telemedicine, cybersecurity, robotics, wearable devices, entrepreneurship, and big data. Each session has expanded our understanding of how emerging technologies continue to reshape modern healthcare. Today, we conclude our FDP with two highly insightful sessions, that is session 11, whose topic is regulatory and ethical issues, and second topic is session 12. It is a panel discussion, and the theme of the panel is future of healthcare technologies, innovation, challenges, and the road ahead. We are honored to have distinguished speakers with us today, and I am confident that their expertise will greatly enrich our final day learning experience. To begin the proceeding, I now invite Mrs. Tanuja Tripti to formally introduce our first speaker, Dr. Tripti Swarnkar ma'am. Tanuja madam, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar, everyone. I am Mrs. Tanuja Tripti. I am privileged to welcome Dr. Tripti Swarnkar to our FDP. Namaskar, madam. Dr. Tripti Swarnkar received the PhD degree in Computer Science and Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. She is currently working as professor and head in the Department of Computer Applications, NIT Raipur. She has served in different positions at Shiksha or Anushandhan Deemed University, Bhubaneswar, Odisha, as Faculty of Engineering and Technology from October 1999 to February 2024. At present, she has 25 years of teaching experience in the field of computer science and engineering. She is currently guiding 6 PhD scholars, and she has already guided who have been awarded also 10 scholars. Dr. Swarnkar's principal research interest is machine learning, omnics data analysis, and medical image analysis. She is also an IEEE senior member and IEEE EMBS and GRSS member. She is the founder chair of IEEE Bhubaneswar subsection WIE Affinity Group. During her tenure, IEEE WIEAG has received the Best Chapter Award for the year 2023. She has also organized many conferences and workshops successfully. She has chaired the Women in Imaging session for most prestigious conference in the field of medical imaging, IEEE ISBI 2022, the founder chair of International Conference on Ambient Intelligence in Healthcare, technically sponsored by IEEE. She is one of the core team member of IEEE Returning Mother Conference since 2020. She was also a principal investigator of multidisciplinary project on validation of artificial intelligence based models in screening and diagnosis of diseases in routine clinical practices, sponsored by Intel India for the year 2018 and 2021. So I welcome you, ma'am, to our FDP. I hope her intelligence and knowledge and experience will enlighten us through our journey. Thank you, ma'am. I welcome you once again, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful introduction. And very good afternoon to all of you. So maybe this session is post-lunch. So I have to keep the people awakened to make it interesting, to definitely, as I was hearing, in almost last 4 or 5 days of sessions, all the different sectors have been already um, like covered. So today I will talk about, as I was being introduced, that my main focus of research field is in the field of medical science. So my main focus now will be how, when we are talking about technology, what things should be taken into consideration so that we can have a proper balance between the innovations with the responsibility. It should be ethical, something which can be used for the society, because your innovation, if it is not coming to the society, if it is not helping the society, then that innovation has got no value. So hope my screen is visible to all of you. Yes?
Good.
Is, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay. So let me just start with it. So uh, today I think it will be how we will be balancing ethically, responsibly, how the technology can be used in the field of healthcare. So just to have a flow, I would be very fast in introducing the technology and specifically the machine learning and then the ethical issues related with that particular technology. So we all know that when we talk about machine learning, uh, when it is a traditional computer programming, the complexity lies in the code. Whereas in the machine learning, programs in principle are simple and the complexity lies in the data. Okay, so mainly when we talk about the machine learning algorithms, the algorithms are simple, they are very defined, but the main complexity lies in the data. So is there any way that we can automatically learn that structure in the data? Yes, that is what is the heart of the machine learning. So whenever we talk about any data, there always lies a hidden information in that. If we are able to learn that information, the process by which we can learn is the technology. That technology is known as the machine learning, and this definition was given by Andrew Nayak. So that is, the machine learning is about the construction and study of systems that can learn from data. This is very different from the traditional computer programming. So machine learning, it was initially, all of us who are working into the machine learning might have heard about the name Tom Mitchell. Okay, so his book is there, which is being followed as the textbook when a person learns the subject machine learning. So according to him, it is machine learning is something to learn from past experience, improve the performance of intelligent programs. So as per him, the definition says that there are three things, E, T, and P. So a computer program is set to learn, because the thing is, we want a computer program which can learn from the data. Which data? As he is telling, that you have to learn it from your past experience and your performance should improve. Okay, so automatically the system has to learn from the data. So a computer program is set to learn from experience E with respect to some class of task T. So it's for a specific task we are designing the model or machine learning model. So for that task T, with experience, if a computer program runs, and the performance measure P, that is, if its performance at task improves with experience. So if the P is improving with the experience, then we say that yes, for a specific task T, we have designed a machine learning model which can efficiently perform the task T. Remember, the learning has to improve with time, with experience. Okay. So why machine learning is possible? Because we have got a huge amount of data is available, which was a constraint in the previous years. High performance computers are available, larger memory in handling the data, greater computational power for calculating and even online learning. Okay. So that is the reason why we are now talking about the machine learning. What are the main advantages? Why this machine learning we are trying to bring it to us? Because we are the most intelligent creature. So we don't want anything else. We believe that nothing is more intelligent as us. But we have got some bottlenecks are there because of which we want that machine should become as intelligent as a human being. So what are the advantages when we design such type of machines? It elevates knowledge acquisition bottles. That is, it does not require knowledge engineers. Scalable in constructing knowledge base. Okay, so these are certain advantages. It is very adaptive to the changing conditions. Sometimes as a human being, it becomes very difficult for us to adapt in a changed condition. Okay, so when we are having the machines, like if someone is going deep into the hole, so mining people, okay, so it's not so easy where the oxygen level reduces, it's a dark, a lot of bottlenecks are there. So in person who is being trained to go inside can only go. So that is what has to be. There are certain bottlenecks for which we really require that we should have something else which can help us. So adaptive to the changing conditions, easy in migrating to new domains. And that is what is the concept of what we call the transfer learning. So if you people might have gone through the deep learning models like CNN. Initially, CNN was being trained into a very generalized images, and the initial weights was being learned. And that initialization of the weight, basically by just little bit of more training to it, we were able to train it for the specific domains like medical domains or other sectors. Now the question arises when we are having machine learning, why people are moving for the deep learning? Okay, so the urge for the deep learning is, if you can see these two figures, first the below figure is showing that how they are related. So the broader concept is artificial intelligence, which long back came somewhere in 1950s. Slowly in 1980s, the concept of machine learning came. Okay, so where it was more towards the statistical learnings. And then within the machine learning, somewhere in 2010, as Madam was telling, I did my PhD from IIT Kharagpur. That was, I joined in 2010, and that was the initial time when the deep learning was coming into the picture and people started adopting it. Okay, so deep learning now everyone is talking about it. And that is basically something trying to map the human brain. So that is what is the journey. Now, when we talk about deep learning, it is nothing as it is trying to map the human brain. It is nothing but it is collection of neurons. We all know that neurons are nothing but they are the smallest unit in our human brain. So that neurons, the collection of those neurons, and each neuron does a very simple job. But when all these neurons get connected, as you can see it in this picture, the network among that, the connectivity and the data transfer, the type of process together they do basically gives you a very complex and powerful model. And that is the concept of your deep learning. So this is basically the first model. It is being told that where it tried to learn the digits. So if you can see that it is 784. So 7 is the input given. It is trying to learn it from there. And finally, it gives you whether it is, so if you can see the last one, the 7 gets highlighted. Okay, so in the past few years, machine learning and AI have shown tremendous progress. So the recent success can be attributed to explosion of data, cheap computing cost of CPUs and GPUs, improvement of machine learning models. So much of the current excitement concerns a subfield, and it is called the deep learning. So need of learning technologies, why it is required? Because if a huge amount of data is available with us, the question is big data is not a smart data. You have to make it a smart data, and there where we go for the pre-processing and making it a clean one, and we try to do analysis on it and take out some information, knowledge is being taken out. So if you can see the new data science methods, the below figure, with the increase in the size of data, the traditional machine learning models, up to some extent, exponentially they perform well, but after that it becomes linear. If you are further increasing the size of the data, the performance is not improving. Okay. Whereas when we talk about deep learning model, as you will increase the size of data, the performance of the model continuously goes on increasing. Fine. So there is a continuous exponential growth in the performance of the deep learning model with the increase in size of data. And this is the reason why people, if they are working with a very huge amount of data, in spite of traditional machine learning algorithms, they are looking for the deep learning algorithms. The basic difference between the deep learning and traditional machine learning is, in the traditional machine learning, the feature extraction and classifications are two different components. Whereas in deep learning model, both the components are clubbed together, and your deep learning model performs both the feature extraction plus classification. Whereas in the traditional machine learning, you have to use a different process for feature extraction, and for classification, you have to use a different model. Okay. So that is the basic difference between your traditional machine learning and the deep learning model. So evolution of AI with time. Yes, initially it was artificial intelligence. And you can see how the usage of these AI models is increasing with time. People then started, it was being used, but still that much not. Then came from the AI, the part of it is the machine learning, which is more on the statistical one. Okay. So again, the usage, evolution of AI, it increased. Deep learning, yes, which is a part of the machine learning. So it is a subset of machine learning. So machine learning is a subset of AI, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which is now widely being used. Now from the deep learning, the subset of deep learning is, one of the thing is generative AI. Generative AI is basically you try to generate synthetic data. Because the thing is, in order for a good performance of the deep learning model, you need a very huge amount of data. But sometimes, like specifically in the medical domain, getting that much huge data, which will really improve the performance of your deep learning model, is not a very feasible one. So what the next came? The generative AI. Okay, so you can just see many things we are automating. Now, if we are automating many things without the intervention of the human being, we should have the confidence that whatever we are doing, it is ethical. It is bringing something good to the society. So let us see that thing. So as just now, the previous figure shows that how it evolved. The same thing has been told over here. So it is AI, which is creating intelligent machines mimicking human intelligence. Machine learning is algorithms enabling computers to learn from data. Then comes the neural nets, that is computational model with interconnected artificial neurons. The subset of that is neural networks with multiple layers for hierarchical representation learning. Now, see, as here I showed you, when we talk about deep learning, which is widely being used, these two things are done together. What it tells is more of black box you are bringing. Reducing the human intervention means machine is doing by itself, but how it is doing, that sometimes is not known. Okay, and that is the black box. So now, if we want that the technology should be adopted in the society and specifically in a medical domain, the users, maybe the doctors, should understand why the machine has given this one. They won't be accepting the black box. That is the reason came into the picture what we call the explainable AI. Okay, so when it is within AI, machine learning, within that deep learning, what we need, which is the most widely used, there should be explainable artificial intelligence. Today, what it is happening is training data is there, machine learning process is there, learned functions are there, and then it gives the decision and recommendation. What are the questions the users can ask? Why did you do that? Yes. Fine. The person who is using this machine, if you are making a black box, the questions which a user can ask is, why did you do that? Why not something else? When do you succeed? Like in the deep learning model, the CNN model, you can see the feature selection in the different layers of CNN is being done. After the whole feature selection is being done, we flatten it and we get the predictive results. So now the question the user is telling that why you have done this one, how you have done, and at which point you have succeeded. We go on increasing or decreasing the layers without properly understanding it. Now, the question can be, when do you fail? When can I trust you? At what situation this machine will fail? At what situations I can trust you? How do I correct an error? Fine. So these are the questions when we are giving a black box to the users. That's the reason the another concept came into the picture, explainable AI. What it does is training data, new machine learning process is there. Now what it is, whatever you have got is an explainable model, explainable interface is there. The user will be happy. It understands. I understand why. I understand why not. I know when you succeed. I know when you fail. I know when you trust you. I know why you earned. Okay. So this is what is the concept of explainable AI. Because you have to become more responsible towards the society. You should tell why the things are happening. At what point this decision you was able to take it. So this is what is the concept of explainable AI. So before moving to the ethics of it, so I have now given you a complete picture of how the technology has moved from your artificial intelligence to that of your explainable artificial intelligence. And what was the requirement, why it has moved. Fine. So we have seen that path. Now, let us see when we talk about medical informatics, what it is. Medical informatics is the branch of science concerned with the use of computers and communication technology to acquire, store, analyze, communicate, and display medical information and knowledge to facilitate understanding and improve the accuracy, timeliness, and reliability of decision making. So when we talk about medical informatics, it is just not giving the analysis result. It basically has multiple aspects, and that is what maybe in the last panel discussion there will be a good discussion on this particular aspect of medical informatics. It is just not acquiring and storing the analyzing the data and display the medical informations and knowledge. It is to facilitate the understanding and improve the accuracy, timeliness, and reliability of decision making. So that is called the medical informatics. So need of informatics in medicine. Nature of medical data is very noisy, incomplete, uncertain. Non-linearities and fuzziness are present in the medical data. Too much data now collected due to computerization. A lot of data are there for a human being to give and specifically for a doctor to give that much of time to go through each and every information of the patient keenly sometimes becomes a very big challenge when the number of patients increases. And specifically, this was a big challenge during the pandemic when the people were just dying because we were not having the sufficient number of medical facilities or medical data, medical people who can provide us the timely services. There comes into the picture the automation. To some extent, certain things need to be automated so that the unnecessarily burdens on the doctors can be reduced. Too many disease markers now available for decision making. See, when you are experienced doctor, you have gone through multiple type of patients. Each patient will give you a different symptom, specifically the cancer patients. It happens the same type of cancer will be there in 2-3 people, but same medicine doesn't work for them. Everyone have got their own symptoms. So it is because there are multiple disease markers, attributes are available for decision making. So analyzing all the attributes is a time consuming one. There we can bring the automation and we can give the doctor information. These all are the features because of which you can say it is a cancer and this feature has got a higher impact. Okay, so a lot of things can be done. Increased demand of health services. Yes, almost all of us go for a regular health checkup in a year at least. We have got the insurance, health insurance. We have become very cautious in regard to those things. So greater awareness, increased life expectancy. These are the reasons which basically requires the automation in the sector of healthcare. Overworked physicians and facilities. Yes. And in India, like country where the biggest challenge is the population. And if now, and we are knowing that because of the environments things, because of our food habits, because of our daily lifestyle, because of change in lifestyle, now the biggest consumption of money is going to the healthcare. Okay, a big part of our earning we spend in our health things. What does it mean? We require that much of doctors. Okay, so they are also human beings. They also, when they get overworked, it does affects their decision. Okay, so these are the challenges because of which the automation is required. Stressful work condition in ICUs, etc. Yes. See, if in our home a single patient, a very serious patient is there, our every work gets affected. In ICUs, doctors are seeing so many patients. They are in such a critical one. So that somewhere it gives them a stressful work conditions. Okay. So what can AI do for the healthcare industries? Yes, it can help in improve diagnostics. It can help in developing new drugs. All of us have seen that in a very short period during the pandemic, the vaccines came out. How? Because of a lot of automation is present, because of which all these things was being done. Personalized treatment plans can be given specifically in certain disease like cancer. Personalized treatment plays a very important role. Okay, streamlined administrative process, which can be a one of the very important uh, required topic. I think in the panel discussion, this will be covered. Streamlined administrative process. If you will go to the hospital, because when I was in Shiksha Anusandhan University, I very closely worked with the doctors from some hospital, and every day footfall in some hospital was 3,000 patients. So you can just imagine in workers in each level, whether they are on the administrative, whether they are nurses, whether they are the ward boys, whether they are doctors, everyone has to be there on their toes. So if all these things need to be properly streamlined, then we need the automation over there. It will help in improve accuracy of diagnosis, identify patient subgroups for personalized and precision medicine, discover new medical knowledge, automate detection of relevant findings in pathology, radiology, etc. And I was lucky enough to work very closely with the radiologist and pathologist and test few of our models with them. Improve quality of care and population health outcomes while reducing healthcare costs. This is a very important thing. You have to improve the quality of care. While another thing you should take into consideration that the healthcare cost should not increase. Because in the India like country where the bigger mass is below average income is quite low, there we require that we should give a proper healthcare service taking into consideration that it should be cost effective. Okay, along with the quality, the cost plays a very important role, and these all things goes into ethics. We will be seeing it. Reduce medication errors and adverse events. Yes, we should try to reduce that because of the improper, if the quality of the healthcare is not good, that may result into the adverse events like death of the people. AI-enabled device will never replace clinicians, but you should always remember AI is there to assist to the medical setup, whether it is to the doctor level or whether it is to the administrative level. It can never replace the people working in the hospital or the clinicians. So this is the growing use of deep learning in medical informatics, and we all know that deep learning is a black box. So how big challenge now we are having? You can just see from 2011 to 2018, now it has further increased in each level, whether it is a genomics or medical and bioimaging or biomedical or fault diagnosis, the usage of deep learning is increasing. So this is in thousands, the number of publications. Okay, so you can just see that how people are very rigorously now using the deep learning models in the medical informatics. And deep learning model is a black box where now it becomes our responsibility that we should provide something. We should go for a proper ethical check before providing these models in the hospital setups. So these are the ethical consideration and challenges. Hope all of you agree that as it is increasing, this becomes a big challenge and our responsibilities. Okay. So ethical consideration and challenges. Let us see what are the considerations to be done and what are the challenges we face. So first is the privacy concern. As you are taking the data from the patients, from a human being, first, and that data, as I told, when we talk about machine learning models, they are dependent on your data. Their learning depends on your data. So the first very important thing is you should have a proper check over the data you are using to train your model. Sensitive data, healthcare information is highly personal and sensitive, requiring strict confidentiality. So when you are using a healthcare data, you should take into consideration that certain personal informations of the patient should not go out. Okay, so that is because the healthcare data is highly sensitive data. People can misuse it. If you disclose certain informations, it can be misused. Another important thing, because I personally work on this medical data, it's very important that when you are gathering the data from the hospital, you should take a proper patient consent, ensuring that patients are fully informed and have consented to the use of their data for AI analysis. Even when you go for a publications, for the healthcare data which you have collected from hospital setup, you have to give that yes, you have to give certain informations in your publication itself that yes, you have taken the patient consent. There are certain ethical committees are there in each hospital setup, which basically gives you the permission. Okay, so next thing comes data sharing. Balancing the benefits of data sharing for AI model improvement with the need to protect patient privacy. Hospitals, before giving their data for a research, have got a multiple steps to be followed. Okay, they have to take an ethical clearance from that ethical committee, which permits you that yes, this data can be used for the research purpose and by whom. Okay, so a lot of things, ethical considerations are there when we are talking about the medical data. So this is something like a privacy concern. Next comes your data security. On the other day, I was telling that when we are using the IoMT, that is IoT devices, the data is passing through the cloud. It is passing through some communication channel. It can be hacked by someone. So cybersecurity risks are there, safeguarding against data breaches and unauthorized access to the patient information. This is another big research field in the case of your healthcare. Encryption and anonymization. This is what I was telling, that anonymized data, you should not, certain things should not be told about the patient. Implementing robust encryption methods and anonymizing data to protect patient identities. This is what is data security. So the first was privacy concern. Second is data security. And in data security, the last one is compliance. Adhering to legal and regulatory standards such as Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, and GDPR, that is General Data Protection Regulations, that need to be followed. So when we talk about this ethical committee of the medical hospitals, they do consist of many peoples who are aware of such things before giving the ethical clearance. Just a minute.
Is there any problem?
Yes. So these are the, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Fine. So next, third very important point is bias and fairness in AI model. This is another important thing. That is the reason the data need to be very clean. So we know that whenever we are training the machine learning models, we use the training data. Okay. So the training data should take into consideration what we call it should be unbiased and it should be fair enough. Okay. See, sometime, and that is the reason the data balancing is very much required. You cannot have one class of data to be more in comparison to that of the another class, if it is a binary class one. So that is the reason that choosing the data and doing the pre-processing plays a very important role in the performance of the model. So training data, ensuring that AI models are trained on diverse and representative data sets to avoid bias. So you cannot randomly train your data in any type of data set and you can claim that you have designed a best model. It is very important that you should test the generalizability of the model. If the model you have designed, you should check that how generalized your model is. Okay. Next is algorithmic bias, identifying and mitigating biases that can arise from the data or the algorithms used. So there can be certain bias on the algorithm level also. One is on the training data. Another can be algorithmic bias. Each algorithm has got their own assumptions. So you should speak out under what condition this particular model is going to perform well. Fair treatment, ensuring that AI predictions and recommendations do not disproportionately affect certain groups or individuals. This is another very important thing. And that is the reason we have got the different evaluations techniques. When we design a model, just seeing the accuracy of the model and claiming that I have done a very good one, it is showing me 98%, 99% of accuracy is not a good approach. You should test your model on different parameters. That is the fair treatment. Another thing, very important, which I told, the need for transparency and explainability. The biggest problem when we talk about the deep learning model is a black box problem. So many AI models, particularly deep learning models, operate as black boxes with opaque decision-making process. It doesn't become very clear that which feature has been chosen, why it has been chosen, if it is not been done, what should be the effect. So which the questions which I showed you. So that is another biggest challenge and it need to be handled. And that is the reason people are now talking about explainable AI. Developing methods to make AI decisions understandable to humans, particularly healthcare providers and patients. In healthcare, doctors should understand why this result has come. You have to make the doctor understand. So you cannot just give a black box to the doctors. Okay. Trust and accountability. The biggest challenge which as a technology people we face is the acceptability of our things by the medical people. So trust has to be built. So in each phase of the development of the AI model, involvement of the medical people is very much required. Building trust in AI systems by ensuring that their operations and decisions are transparent and accountable. Okay, so these are certain biggest challenge when we talk about the technology bringing into the real world. So, and that is the reason Now people are looking for your multidisciplinary research work. See, as a technology people, we do not understand the medicines. We do not understand a lot of medical aspects which a doctor understands. Doctor doesn't understand the technology. This bridge has to be filled up. Okay, it has to have a bridging. This gap has to be filled up so that we can bring the trust and accountability on our part. So as you can see, the figure which I have given, there should be a proper balance between the technology and that of the medicine. Now, definitely the another very important thing is it is a moral responsibility of us that it should not be that whatever model we have designed, after a few years, it becomes obsolete and it cannot be used. It should be sustainable. Means with the time, it should be able to adopt. Otherwise, a lot of time, lot of money has been spent in the development. So the AI model needs to be sustainable. So this is another very concern when we design the AI model. So when we talk about sustainability, it is on three factors. One is the environmental, another is the social, and third is the economic sustainability. So environmentally and socially responsible AI. The AI model which we should design should be environmentally and socially responsible AI. So three pillars are environmental sustainability, like energy efficient, carbon footprints. See, what it happens is we design something, but after sometimes, like the for increasing the crop yield, a lot of chemicals was being designed, which our farmers used, and now the whole of the farming field has become so much that the growth has reduced and we are developing the disease like cancer. It is being observed that the western Orissa, that belt of Orissa, is prone to cancer. One of the biggest reason of cancer in that region is the double crop, and most of them has been done using in order to increase the productivity. A lot of your the medicines and all those things was being used. Fine. So see, we are developing AI model. It should not be that after some times it is giving you the worst result. Like we have seen in the movie Robo, that Chitti. What it happened? Means he designed it for some other purpose, but it was finally being found that it is not working in the way it should. It has to be destroyed. So it has become a moral responsibility of ours to make the AI model sustainable with respect to environment, with respect to social sustainability, that is fairness and equity should be there. Economic sustainability, it should be cost effective and deployment should be done. So challenges of sustainability, environmental challenge, high energy consumption, training large models, data centers emissions are there. Ethical and social, bias in AI models, data privacy concern, inequity in access to AI tools. Economic, high implementation cost, this should be taken into consideration. We should not design a very complex model which will become very costly because the final cost is going to come to the patients. Okay, so technology gap in low resource settings. So we should try that to design something which can be get fitted in the current hospital setup itself with a very minimal cost. Fine. So this is a very important aspect. It has to be taken. So principles of sustainable AI, energy efficient model should be there. So tiny ML model pruning should be done. Tiny ML model should be made. And now people are working a lot on this, that even in our mobile, we should be with a less compute power, we should be able to run our AI models. Explainability and transparency should be there. Ethical design and deployment should be there. Inclusive data sets has to be there. It should be, the data set has to be properly chosen. Life cycle assessment for AI systems. We should have the assessment that to what extent it is going to work properly. Okay. So little bit information to my research team. So you can see on the one side. So the picture shows the technology meets the bio, and which is very much required when you are working in a specific domain like medical domain. You should have a good interaction with the hospital people to take their input. So I was lucky enough to develop that interaction, and even this relationship, even though I have come to NIT Raipur, but we are still continuing. And here in Raipur also, I'm trying to join hand with AIMS Raipur and Sanjeevani Cancer Care Hospital. So like I have taken 3 of my candidates from NIT Raipur. So previously you can see, as I was being told that by already 10 PhDs have been taken it up, and another like 6 are there in the queue. And this is my the hospitality. Few of my undergraduate works which was being done in collaboration with IIT Kharagpur. So that was a mammograph image corpus was being developed, and this was the design which was being done by the BTech students in collaboration with the IIT Kharagpur project. And the another was being done, that is a DICOM image bank was being made again in collaboration with IIT Kharagpur, Professor Jayanth Mukhopadhyay. They are the two giants working in the field of, so Dr. Devdut, he works mainly into the imaging data, and Dr. Jayanth Mukhopadhyay also is into the image data, and he is really a very senior professor from a long back. He is working into this field. So with him, students did, and this was the thing they developed. She is my first scholar. She is currently assistant professor in France, and she did, after doing her PhD, she did her postdoc from France. So Brittany, France, and currently working as a faculty in Berlin School of Business and Innovation. And she is continuing her passion to work in the medical domain. She is continuing her work. She is Dr. Sashwati Mahapatra. She is currently working in SOA, and she was my first candidate to work on the genomics data. And she is Dr. Santi Shudas. She is currently working with IIIT Bhubaneswar. She worked a lot. She is the first candidate of mine who started working into the deep learning. So almost her all work was on deep learning, and she was another first candidate, I should say, with whom I started collaborating with the medical people. And her one of the work was totally on the data which we collected from Institute of Dental Science, some hospital. And she worked on oral cancer histopathological image analysis. She is Dr. Shushritha Tripathi. She worked on the for the digital mammographic images. Dr. Subhashri Mahapatra, her a lot of work we did with the endoscopic images, which we collected from the some hospital from gastro department, and her co-guide was from the gastro department, Dr. Girish Pati. He was the co-guide. So a lot of input was there given in her work from his side. Dr. Swayam Prabha Sahu, she is from the basically from life science. So her most of the work was on the wet lab. So collecting the data from the hospital, and she worked on these genomic landscaping of critical superbugs like Capsula. So these 3 people, they worked on the antimicrobial resistance. We all know that currently antibiotic resistance is becoming a big challenge. So Dr. Swam was the first student to work on that under me, and she was from the biotechnology background. Then Dr. Debashish, he is currently doing his postdoc in IIT Bhilai. His work was more of computer science, applying for this genomics data and NGS data. It was on, again, antimicrobial resistance. Shweta Padma, she is a student from ILS, and she is from bioinformatics background, and she does a very balanced 50-50% wet lab and 50 is on the AI part. So hers also is almost work is being done. Maybe in another few months, she will be submitting her things. They are the two people working on the, Shrinu Babu is working on IOM things, and Archana, she is from TCS. They both are my part-time scholars, and she works basically on the medical data augmentation using the generative AIs. Fine. And this was the project which I was being introduced, that I worked on in collaboration with Intel. So if you can see that project, basically we tested the AI model designed by Philips, as well as the one of the Predible Health, which is a startup from IIT Madras. And the main objective was to test the quality of AI model, ease of use and productivity, and evaluation of cost factor, which I told as a AI technology people, it becomes our moral responsibility to test it. The model which we have designed, how good they are quality wise, that is the predictive ability, how easily it can be used, and how it is increasing the productivity of the hospital setup. Because the thing is, it should not cost you the extra cost. If the cost of the setup becomes high, the whole cost is going to the patient. If the patient, for the patient, if the treatment becomes costly, your footfall will reduce. Why? So that is what the ease of use and productivity, and very important thing was the evaluation of the cost factors. So this was a very challenging and very interesting project where I was the PI from the technology side. So I'm open for the questions, if any questions. Any questions, please? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. So if any questions are there, I'll be happy to answer.
Until now, no question is there in the chat box.
Okay. So hope that I should assume that yes, I was clear to pass my message to all of you. So Sumati, should we stop it for some times? Okay, someone is asking some question. Ma'am, want to use explainable AI with NLP. Which method is suitable? See, machine learning is something which is also dependent on your objective. Depending, and that is the reason it is being told that before applying any of the model or before designing the pipeline of any of the model, the first very important thing is you understand your objective, understand what data is available for that, and then do a little bit of literature review. That will give you an idea that which model is giving a better result for your defined type of objective. Because none of the machine learning models you can claim is the best. It is totally dependent on your problem statement. Okay, so that is the reason whenever you are working in any of the research field, little bit of a rigorous, I should not say little bit, rigorous literature review plays a very important role. In spite of directly rushing for the implementation or designing a model, give some time to yourself to do a proper literature review. That will give you an idea then in what scenario which model is performing well. Then you should analyze why it is performing well. Where is still a gap? And can I remove this gap with this machine learning model? That is basically how the process should state. So directly no one can answer you that this is the explainable AI which can be used for any specific problem statement. Okay. Okay, you have asked that EEG data sets freely without much paperwork. You will get a EEG data sets. You can get a lot from the different sources. But again, I will tell you that in spite of randomly going for a data set, look for some EEG related papers. Normally in each paper, they give you the reference, the link from where you can get the data. And always it is recommended that when you are reading the papers and specifically for a data set or model design, refer to a standard journal or standard conference papers. Okay, maybe understanding may not be very clear when you go for a higher stage journals or the conferences. But for data sets and deciding upon certain features, it is good to refer to good journals or good conference papers, and then maybe you can refer to the easier conference papers or the easier journal papers. Okay. NCBI is one of the source which gives you a lot of data. Then many others are there. Just find it out. Better it will be in spite of me just throwing the things in the dark. I'll let you know that read certain papers related with the EEG. They normally give the reference of the data sets from where you can get it, the standard data sets. Yes, any other questions from any of the participants?
I hope, madam, there is no more question for you because your presentation was so clear.
Thank you for your feedback. So, should I leave, Sumati, because still we are having some time, I think, for the panel? Or what do you say?
Ma'am, if the chat box is open, if any query is there, then the another question has come, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Yes, it is. They are two different things. Explainable AI is different from generative AI. Generative AI is basically used to generate data. The augmentation, data augmentation, for that purpose, the deep learning models which are used for data augmentation, we call it generative AI. Explainable AI is basically giving you the insight into how the things are taking place, which is giving you the measurement if this feature has been selected, why it has been selected, which feature is giving you more impact. Fine, so they are the two different aspects.
Can you just differentiate between SAP and live? Just in 2-3 lines if you elaborate.
See, they all are the explainable models, okay, which basically gives you information about the features which you are selecting. The working principle of them is different. Like when we read the algorithm analysis and design for a sorting purpose, for sorting itself, we have got multiple algorithms. So the objective is same, but the working principle is different, because of which the results are coming to be different. Okay. So SAP and line, both they come under the explainable AI. But the working principle of both of them is different, although the objective is same. Yes, any other question?
Another question is for you.
Okay, let me just check it. It is, ma'am, feature polarity is also coming under explainable AI. Yes, it will be. I don't work a lot in NLP, but to my knowledge, yes, definitely. I think that gives you the weightage of the specific feature. Okay. So yes, it comes under the explainable AI. So normally I work with the image data as well as the what we call the omics data in the form of gene expression and the sequence data. So yet not explored a lot the NLP part of it, but yes, to my knowledge, yes, polarity is basically the feature polarity is one of the measure, and specifically, I think that it is in the NLP, and it is a part of your explainable AI. Yes. Any other things?
No, ma'am, there is no more question for you. So we can take 15 minutes break. After that, we can start our panel discussion.
Fine. It will be in the same link, isn't that?
Yes, ma'am. The same link is there.
So I'm just not logging it out. I'm just muting myself. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That will be better. Dear participants, you can take 15 minutes break. Sharp at 3:30. Again, we will be joining on our panel discussion.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Ma'am, just 2 minutes. I'm logging in. There was some power cut, so I'm just logging in my laptop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can take 5 minutes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just logging in. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm all set. Then anytime you are you people are all set to start. I'm ready. The others I'm
Yes,
ready
sir.
to. Yeah.
I know that you are always punctual. Sir,
No, we have to survive with time only.
within 2 minutes we will start. Jagannath sir
Yeah.
has also
Yeah.
uh,
Fair enough. Yes.
he is there with us, and Tripti madam has also joined. So within two
Yes.
minutes we will start, sir.
Yeah. Just thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall we start? Ma'am, unmute yourself. Ma'am, you unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
ma'am.
everyone. Good afternoon, Nikhil sir. I'm Professor Tripti Swarnkar from NIT Raipur. So one of your panelists. Sir, you are mute, I think.
Oh yes. I was in mute. No, ma'am. Knowing you is a blessing for us because we switch between industry as well as academics because that is the core. Academics is the core. Then industry where we say what we've studied. So
Yeah. No, sir, it's always we academic people are not complete without industry and doctors.
yes, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
yes. Ma'am, before starting, we say I have been into exposed more into the European, conferences and all these. See, they always use a very good word, which I picked up like a, statutory word for me. You say co. So co-engineering, co-working, coexistence, co-survival. So
Yes.
everything is co. So today I have got a friend who says, we have got 10 partners who are doing a project. I say in India,
Okay.
if you talk about 10 partners doing a project, people will believe you are not doing anything. Then he said, no.
No, but I personally believe, sir, because I very closely work with doctors and
Yeah.
my complete research field is using the AI machine learning with the medical data analysis. So
Okay.
I worked in Shiksha Anusandhan University for 25 years and I was in
Oh,
close collaboration with doctors from IMS and IDS.
oh, great. Sikha
Yeah.
Anusandhan, yes. Because I have been in and out of that because I know the dean who is also my faculty. But I'm basically MBA guy who gets into all this technology
Yes.
spec. SIDAC being
Yeah.
my, foothold from there, got into defense lab, from there Patni, then into so many other things, and bit of DRDO. And the defense lab thing we never mentioned. It is, it was a part of the
Yes.
engagement also. So we go on doing. I just try to explore myself where all I can find out. So you will be my next guide then in AI ML because we are trying to do something so I've been not exposed into purely AI ML, but I was trying to find out agents. So there I'll catch up with you, ma'am.
Sure, sir. It will be pleasure.
Yes. Same here, sir. Same here, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am and sir. Over to Namita, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we have already joined, but let me formally again welcome you all to this last session of panel discussion. I welcome you to this panel discussion of AICT Atal sponsored FDP on smart health technologies and medtech innovations. I've joined you second time today for this closing. And the theme of this panel is the discussion is future of healthcare technologies, innovation, challenges, and the road ahead. And today, this panel brings together three eminent experts from diverse segments of healthcare ecosystem, clinical practice, healthcare IT, and advanced computing. This is to help us explore the future trajectory of medtech innovations. Our panel members for this session are Dr. Tripti Swarnkar, Professor NIT Raipur. Welcome, Madam. Mr. Nikhil Nayak, GM Corporate IT and Systems, Apollo Hospitals. Welcome again. And we will be joined physically by Dr. Jagannath Tripathy, Consultant, Cardiac Anesthesia and Critical Care, Apollo Hospitals. We are really, it's a pleasure and privilege to have you all here with us for this discussion. And the moderator for this discussion, for this panel discussion is Dr. Sumati Baral, Assistant Professor, MCA, Trident Academy of Technology. I hand over the session to our moderator, Dr. Sumati Baral. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We are honored to have all the three experts with us today. Ma'am and sir, good afternoon to all our distinguished speakers. Today's discussion will focus on how emerging technologies, IoT, hospital IT system, wearable analytics, robotics, and clinical innovations are shaping the future of healthcare delivery. We will explore opportunities, challenges, and real-world implications. Dr. Tripti, ma'am, your specialization is in IoT and remote patient monitoring. Ma'am, first question goes to you. That is, how do you see IoT-enabled remote monitoring systems evolving to support large-scale chronic disease management in India? Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sumati, for giving me this opportunity to speak as a first person in the panel discussion. So, as much my exposure goes, because I closely work with the medical setup and hope here Dr. Jagannath is sitting, he will agree with me that in India like country, it's very difficult and which we all are seeing where the a big chunk of our population is in the rural areas, where the hospital and the doctor's availability is a big challenge. And the reason is very obvious because still our rural places, villages do not have that facilities which are required by a people, maybe see imposing on someone and someone loving to go and sit in a remote places is a big challenge because maybe the doctors may be imposed, but that is not their choice because they also have got their family. They need some comfort. They need certain facilities to be given to their kids, their families, which is a big challenge. So in that type of scenarios in India like country, the remote monitoring plays a very significant role. So if we can have a proper infrastructure with the help of the technology like IoT, it will definitely, we will be able to make the chronic disease treatment to be hospital centric. In spite of that, we can make it community based. We will be having a continuous tracking of vital population scale. We will have a continuous, because the thing is when someone is coming from traveling from a village to a tertiary care which is in the urban places, they are mainly the daily wages people. They spend their money, they spend their time, and after coming to the hospital it's not guaranteed that they will be getting serviced on the same day. So I think the IoT and technology in that will really play a very significant role. It will not only increase the treatment, reaching of the medical facilities to the remote places, but it will also reduce indirectly the cost being incurred in providing the healthcare. I feel my other two panelists will agree with the thing which I have given.
Yeah, ma'am, you are absolutely right. The reach is the question. It's technology
Yes.
is not is a challenge. Challenge is reach and infra thing. What you pin down is the infra and communication where the barrier is actually, that is potentially. See, the knowledge check of poor patients or a rural-based patient is now there enabled. But only thing is what you pin down is absolutely right. I agree with that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now moving to the hospital IT domain. Now question to Mr. Nikhil Ranjan Nayak. Sir, with your extensive experience in hospital information system, the question is for you that what are the implementation challenges in technology speak for healthcare?
Yeah, ma'am, I take this opportunity to thank you all and Trident and the community here. I'm privileged that I get to know the faculties where some point of time I was belonging there and coming with a convergence of doing this thing. See, coming back to your question, ma'am, straightforward, it is a challenge. What is the implementation challenges? See, the thing is that if there is no challenge, there is no evolution, there is nothing, innovation is there. That's what we say. But once you design, we have, I go back always to the design, all my slides, every time I say, what, when you design, no, we don't catch up with the market, which will coming to 5 years. We design start today, thinking last 2, 3 years data from which we say this is what is coming. So very prospectively, there is a research site which says, design should be proactive, 5 to 10 years ahead. And what you lack the infrastructure of design 10 years ahead. So you are in the current infrastructure where you are trying to do the feature. That is one of the acceptance challenge because management doesn't buy that idea. That is the biggest hurdle if you get any time in ERP or a big time implementation. You have to have that management buying your idea and believing you for some time. That time frame is another critical factor. At what time what will become obsolete? Because in technology world, sometimes people, for example, I'll tell you when pager came, no, then STD booths were coming, pager came in, then mobile came in. Pager just vanished in a span of 6 months to 8 months time. By the time people realize what is called a pager, that technology is obsolete. So like that, where we come from, challenges. One is acceptance is the one challenge, which is a management has to accept. Second challenge is the world is divided with the clinicians and non-clinicians. They are treated very separately. The acceptance of a clinician, because I am designing it for, I am planning for my future of like you say, you plan for your kids. Okay, but by the time you design everything, the kid is not ready to take it because he thinks he is in a different world. Similarly, the clinician's acceptance is a must. That is where the biggest challenge you get it. A doctor will talk to another doctor who will say agree. Okay, a doctor says means he may agree, may not agree. But if a non-doctor says, you will get a percentage of 80% of chances that they will not listen, they will not agree upon. So that is one more administrative challenge which I have dealt in for 18, 19 is a day in, day out. Convincing a doctor was half the battle born. So rest half battle was basically designing, implementing, showing them the outcome to the management, ROI into the revenue cycle and all. Salesforce, I'll come back here telling, for example, Salesforce implementation for marketing people in a hospital. There is a time where it is told the doctor's discharge summary should be shown to the referring doctor and to the patient. That buying out took 6 months, while I was generating 1,800 million Indian rupees per, like, 180 crores per, per month revenue generated, but we are not ready to give. So this is one of the factors. I'll come very technical, challenges. One is a design challenge, which should have a supporting infrastructure. One thing, because we are existing in the current infrastructure and we're trying to build up. So one fine day you say you change over to the latest servers, it is not happening. It will happen in a staggered way. So that transition is always a painful thing. Like we came out with a concept, where we say DevOps, development and operation is the combination word. Development is done for 4G. Okay, but when operational, we go to the hospital, say, no, you try out, because you will try out in 10 beds or a one part of a hospital or a one ward. You can 2G also, you can try out. Then you are not taking the potential of the speed and the power of that application. You cannot, you tie your leg and run it. So that is where one thing is that acceptance and the infra is a challenge if they don't take it in one go. and everybody has to run in a what's a very operationally laptop or a desktop which is a 4G RAM. Then you're, even if you design like a Mercedes, but you are running it on a road which is designed for a ambassador, so you are not allowing them to show the potential. So those are few side of management acceptance is there. But then the other thing is training and acceptance. You agree upon everything, like what we say government fund, our people should not take my this thing, but we say, I agree on everything I put a signature, but I don't accept. Internally I'm not internalizing that I have to do it. It is designed for me, it will give these results. And your data points, what we design, we take some historical data, our system, where something is lagging, that is to take over, go over that to two level more, you have to start. So data point is not there. So what do? You try to extrapolate, give some data some point of time. Sometimes you have to assume, or you have a hard code record which you try to put into the system. So your base of the recent technology and system is on a shaky platform. I'll say that word because I don't know how right that was. Okay, but if I start new application taking the new data points, not looking back, I'll start today. Let us forget about the past. From today, we'll take it. That is one. Then a lot of rules in a hospital are different for different hospitals. So when you say, we have, I'm privileged to work in a hospital where 74 hospitals. I had another privilege. Say today, I say, a blessing for me, monitoring 34 hospitals this point of time, last few months. So 34 hospitals, when I take a cluster, southern cluster, Bangalore, technology is not a challenge. People's approach is not a challenge. If I come to eastern zone, central zone like Calcutta and other places, it is a challenge. So this is, and then should be a CCB, change control board. Whatever you change, everybody to accept. Then the consensus is there. Otherwise, you design same thing with the three different kind of logics. So it one fits for me, I will do it. Huh. In this, the challenge if it is a statutory norm, Eastern India is saying some norm is there, legality, then you can design. Otherwise, you make it a generic approach. Then only you will have consistency, credibility, and you can cross reference each other. You handshake others, each other data records and everything. So that is where the power of consolidation will come. Otherwise, consolidation is not a possibility. But you take instances and you filter out accordingly. You do it. The next, if you say CCB, then the training mode. That is round the clock training mode is there. But if you see healthcare, training is not a big challenge because hospital doctors always evolve, and nursing is always they have some hours per year training is a mandatory for them. But when you say doctors doing it, that is the biggest challenge. They don't do it. They cannot do it because they will say we have OT, we have patients to see, and this. That is where this DMDB doctors has created a real positive thing for adoption of these things. The last but the least, we'll say, adoption. Management says, I want to see this, I want to go like this, and this is what is my outcome projected by consultant like KPMG, Deloitte, these, that, XYZ, who all are there, driven by a consultant from the industry who thinks everything falls in shape according to the corporate world or private in world. It doesn't happen like that. So there will always be a little bit of political intervention, whether we like or not. That word is always a questionable mark. And this thing, what to take first, what not to take first, and what are the clinical decisions. There should be a clinical committee who justify, okay, if this is the deviation, who should take a decision, either a doctor or a technician or the operational platform, operational floor guy, floor manager. So those are one is there. Or without that, it becomes a challenging because your system may look like a very defunct thing. And pharmacy fund is even more challenging. So whole of the activity, this is how it goes. So at a point, management should buy in, get back, get a feedback, and reinvest if it need to be reinvested. And always, my success story of implementation of around 16, 70 hospitals, I'll tell. I don't know. I took an approach which was, I was bitten left, right, center in the beginning, first two cases. And since the MBA guy, I survived because I understand the other aspect, not only technology. So I always said buy-in of the CEO, CFO. So management buy-in is there. I represent them. That was the take. And then we got, I had always having two, three, four doctors in my team saying, I want we want to promote you. So, show your skills. So, what are the critical things you have done? So, we got few of the, ring masters in our team. So, we get saved as well. It's got getting percolated to another doctor saying, Arey, mera to ho raha hai, mera to record aa raha hai. I see my records very easily. I can see this thing. But over the time, over certain time period, we realize, you give them the expectation they have. They want something on the desk. So this is a full cycle where training has to be continuous, and the change management is a bigger challenge, which you have to have it. If policy matter comes into picture, that is where you don't have anything. You don't have a control. So what you do is you go back to management. It takes its own sweet time to approve, because if it's the financial constraint is there, then you get delayed more. So those are the 5 6 high end your challenges you get for any implementation. Ma'am,
Just to
I'm
answer few of the things of what Nikhil sir has told. The first thing, the technology point of view, in order to make the system so that it is being adopted in the another 5 10 years also it should continue. Now the
right,
technology has come up with sustainable AI. So we
right,
are just talking about AI, we are talking about sustainable AI. And very
right.
important thing, which I will agree, I think Dr. Jagannath is there, he will agree that if we have to bring the technology to the hospital
Hmm,
sector, it is very much required that we should join hand with the domain experts, with the clinicians.
right,
Technology people should join hand with the domain experts to understand what they need from us. In spite
right,
of putting our arrows in the dark and just giving the solutions, we should ask them to define what is their problem, and that problem statement we should try to resolve using the technology. I think the next
right.
question should be from Dr. Jagannath so that
Yes,
he
ma'am. Yes,
will,
ma'am.
yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now shifting towards clinical innovation. The question goes to Tripathi sir, Dr. Tripathi sir. Sir, Dr. Tripathi, with your vast experience with robotics and advanced tools in modern surgery and critical care, the question is for you that are robotic systems capable of delivering CPR more accurately than humans?
Good evening, everyone. I'm basically an anesthetist working in Apollo Hospital, so it is my domain. It is a very pertinent question to me because CPR is a complex procedure. Actually, CPR full form is cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So it follows after sudden cardiac arrest or cardiac arrest because of many reasons. So in that scenario, chest compression forms the base of the procedure. Baseline means it is the first procedure, means the quality CPR depends on the quality of chest compression. And the quality of chest compression should be very accurate and it should be very consistent in form of depth of compression should be at least 2 inch, means 5 centimeter, and the rate of compression should be at the tune of 100 to 120 compression per minute. So it requires massive energy and it requires a team effort. And generally there are the team, the participant who are doing CPR, they are prone for fatigue. So to avoid that, we need a automation in form of this type of Lucas robotic CPR system, which is called Lucas device. This has recently come up with human high quality performance, and it can do the CPR starting from emergency department to cath lab, where the patient has to brought for angioplasty or for opening the vessels. So in that scenario, there may be, well, the CPR continues for almost 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes like that. So for that situation, we need a good quality CPR to be administered till we open up the vessels. So in that, during that procedure also, we may require defibrillation. Defibrillation means the heart, once the heart arrests, the terminal rhythm of heart is called ventricular fibrillation. This is a complex rhythm where most of the cardiac arrest patient fibrillate. So in that case, we need to give shock. That is called, you must have seen in films where the hero is rescued by giving a shock on or on his chest. So that is called defibrillation. We give a DC shock to the patient wherein we administer 150 joules direct current to the patient chest so that the synchronity of the heart comes to normal rhythm. That is called sinus rhythm. So for that, we need to be away from the patient, because once we give shock, so there is a chance that that shock may get transmitted to the rescuers. So to avoid that, we need this type of mechanical device, some like the Lucas device, which we have already discussed, and that in that particular situation, once we give defibrillation, we tell all the personals to all clear means the person around the victim should be clear so that the current or electricity won't pass to the other rescuers. So in that scenario, we need a automation device in form of this robotic CPR system. And another advantage of this automation is once we give the high quality of CPR, we can give the critical other tasks like medication administration, airway management, and diagnostic reasoning. We can focus on that in a better way, because CPR consists of three things: chest compression, airway, breathing. So there are three things which should be simultaneously taken care of. So in that scenario, once our focus goes away from chest compression, because chest compression requires more energy and requires continuously, we have to give chest compression at that rate. So in that situation, we can focus on other parameters such as airway, breathing, and circulation by other devices. Another key component is accuracy. Here, compared to human accuracy, the robotic CPR system delivers in a better way, because it may the personal there may be subjective variation with respect to the quality of CPR, means the pressure which we give chest compression. So that may vary. For example, a female sister, she cannot perform the CPR what a male personnel, healthcare personnel can provide. So in that case, you have a uniform uh, chest compression, which is assured by this robotic system. Another major limitation of this robotic system is it cannot assess a rib fracture, which generally occurs following CPR, because once you give a chest compression, there is a sternum bone is there, which is prone to get fracture. So in that situation, the robot cannot feel that fracture, because human, we have a sensation in our hand that where we can catch that there is a rib fracture, whereas this is a robot system cannot catch this rib fracture. So this is one of the limitation. So in summary, robotic CPR is a powerful tool for augmenting human effort and ensuring the high quality compression and enabling the complex logistic during a code blue. We call it a code blue. and it is superior in mechanical consistency, and it operates, but it operates under human supervision and guidance. Only machine cannot do CPR. Means we need a healthcare professional to guide them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Uh, Now the next question goes to Dr. Tripti ma'am. Ma'am, what innovation do you foresee in wearable devices that could significantly improve patient monitoring and preventive care? Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, Dr. Sumiti, and I was hearing Dr. Jagannath very keenly that how technology is helping them. And I fully agree that technology can never replace a clinician. Because the thing is, what emotions a doctor from their experience they are knowing and they can sense, that cannot be done by the trained model. As Nikhil sir was also telling, that training plays a very important role. What data you have given. So even from, from the person to person, from the geographical region to region, many things differs, which a doctor better understands in spite of that of the machine models. So, but I definitely agree that by a proper training with the proper input, the AI enabled early risk predictions using these IoT devices, we can transform these wearable devices from a passive trackers, because the wearable devices we are using to collect certain data. So they are very like static data we are collecting. In spite of doing that, if we can incorporate the AI with the IoT, you can transform the passive trackers into that of the proactive preventive tools. Like what Dr. Jagannath was also telling, that maybe to some extent the robots can be used to give the initial treatment which is being required by a cardiac patient. Why? So in that way, the technology, the AI can help in enhancing the wearable devices to make it proactive preventive tools, and thus we can further enhance the medical care. And as I always tell, that when we are designing this technological models or the AI models, it is very much required to take the input from the domain experts. As Dr. Jagannath was explaining, that as per the patient requires, a specific pressure at a specific time, specific place has to be given. If that knowledge we are not passing it to the model, machines are something what we are training. So for training them, we need to join hand with them, and thus I think the your passive can be converted into a proactive preventive tools. And definitely, I fully agree that there is a subjective variations, and there comes into the picture the technology, because if expert is not that much of good, even the initial treatment given to the patient may not work. That is the reason we as the normal public, we always look for experienced clinicians, experienced doctors. So maybe that proper input can help the technology to some extent bridge that gap, what we call the subjective variations. So I think my other two people will agree with that particular thing with me.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. That is very much truly spoken, because that is where it makes or breaks the whole system. Because what you have designed for a futuristic thing, it is on a particular pathway which you follow, and you have depicted, you have said the same way. That pathway is to be identified very precisely, and that is the key takeaway from your this deliberation, ma'am.
And ma'am, it's very true that a machine cannot replace a technician.
Hmm.
Always the technician presence, physical presence is required. It's very true. Now, question goes to Mr. Nikhil. How can we prepare for a future-ready healthcare system?
Uh, Ma'am, future ready means we have to see something, what is coming up in 5, 10 years. And future is always about the planning. You should have very strong planning, and you should be getting ready to take the risk of designing your infrastructure. So you should have a very strong infrastructure for seamless engagement and strategic data use and smart, alternatives. So in that case, what you do is, what is your data set being used, or you create a national repository of clinical data, semi-clinical, paramedics, or lab diagnostic. If you can really make something which goes, any diagnostic center, either he is putting, publishing it to the government where it is repository is created, then that gives you a strong infrastructure of getting the right data and the right kind of clinician inferences which can be done. Now it is scattered across. I know few diagnostic, I know few doctors, I take away from them few cases from them. But if all cases are put together, the American way, the way it is, like FDA approves everything at a small, big, even if a food also, it should have what constant and what ingredients, that is also certified. That is certified means you are maintaining a minimum quality. So here the question comes to quality of the data when we say, so you should have a very strong infrastructure of maintaining that. I'm not telling you can survive with the ultimate infrastructure, the latest gadgets and the IT hub and data center and this. No, 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 no. What I'm telling is that infrastructure, maybe your rules and regulations strict enough, you don't deviate. Whatever you give, that is there. Second is, who is taking ownership of it? Today, I maintain a business called Lab Diagnostic for 5 years. After that, I got into some other business. Then I may not be maintaining that because it was a business perspective. But if it goes and sets into a central repository, like state level, central level, wherever it is there, so then you get a you have a repository of a data set for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. See, this is where a link. If you go last conversation I told you have you go same day do a blood test in 5 diagnostics, you will find out 5 diagnostics giving at least 3 are different parameters, different values. Why? Basically the machines, the protocols they use, and the reagents they are using, there will be some difference. So that is where it is not the person is a mistake, or the report is a mistake, or the device is a mistake. It's a calibration, and there's all these things. So if you say this is based on the, like we had, ma'am, if you say metric system and physics initial days, huh? So like that, you should have, a generic sense of you. So that is where NABH, NABL has now come up. So it is going to the second is innovation in Indian digital transformation approach. See, innovation is happening. Nobody can stop that. But if it is a innovation in Indian digital transformation approach, the government lays down a procedure. You innovated something, you put it from put it forefront. You get tested out. You give a public opinion, get out, get certain thing tested. Let's say you got a research paper, ma'am. So what I do, if I have an option of it is published somewhere, not in a journal, in the public domain, and it is published, and I ask few questions or 10 questions, your dimension of thinking may go where you have done an excellent job, or you may be trying to improve upon it. That is what I'm telling. If your innovation in Indian digital transformation, but now the days government has done a wonderful job. And if I say, I4C is one platform, not in this thing. I4C is basically, I'll tell, I was trying to, I'm really sitting in Delhi, is trying my hands in there, is, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. See, the initiative says cybercrime has to be stopped. So we should get a coordination center where all the cases is listed. All the cases are identified, whether somebody complains or not. So this is under health, under Home Ministry. So they are training police, they are training lawyers, they are training people, they are training institutes, they are training. So they have initiated that anybody's role is to understand what is a cybercrime, how you should be away from that. What you do so many things without knowing it. Then you fall trap of that. So like that, if you have a innovation in digital transformation approach from the government of India, now startup is there, Bayrak is there, and others are there, then you get a bigger dimension of thing. That is where the future is. Then strong regulatory framework. Strong regulatory framework means, I mean to say, here, bigger companies will always have the leverage. If a smaller company comes, he is trying to struggle, and there is no promotional event given. See, in this case, strong regulatory framework says the middle companies, the bigger company says you have to observe 40% of our students doing a project in real-time research. How does it sound? So my people are getting ready. My students are getting ready. Institutions are also trying to open up their idea to see, oh, this is the way industry moves. Let me get aligned with them, because my students will be placed one way. They are getting in a subject knowledge which is tuned towards. So when you go to intensive, then you explore the other side of the world. Saying, I studied something, but now the world is going in a different direction. Let me put my foot into that and become, aligned to that. Instead of that, this is what is a strong regulatory framework would give it. This conference is one of the methods where, we talk to each other and try to find out how the world is moving. Similarly, you plan it for, bottom of the pyramid. Who is the volume? Where is the volume? Who is getting impacted? Not top of the pyramid, bottom of the pyramid. So you try to address that. So that is where strong regulatory framework should be. Strong doesn't mean you go on punishing them. You say when you do it, you have to justify that. That is what is. Uh, then that is digital mission. Strategy is already there. Then certain other ways like patient centric centric solution. See, if you go to a hospital now, big hospital, you bothered by, how to documentation of insurance, this, that, emergency, fill up of admission and all these things, that patient-centric solution. See, if a person knows, this is my idea, absolutely, people can, tear it off, or they can accept it, or they can buy it out and take it to some other, take it forward also. Patient-centric solution, I say, see, in India, everybody has an Aadhaar card. Okay. His name, age, and gender is identified from there. Almost 90%. Okay. Then, if he has got already registered in some hospital, some of the hospital, if it is centrally managed by state government, like COVID time, how many deaths, how much mortality, gender, this, that, all were there. Similarly, you put that there. So before the patient is coming, you can pull out from there from the Aadhaar card at least the basic, the last prescription diagnosis, last prescription, what has been advised and the test results. So you got a schematic, what is it, what we say GIS wise, geologically temporal data over a period of time, what is the change. So you get a basic information. If it is there, that is the future. Before you come, we know. If Dr. Jagannath Tripathy knows before coming to OT, he knows this guy is this weight, this height, is anesthesia allergic or not allergic, what he is allergic, and what blood group and all. He will be prepared ultimately. Why he should explore then and try to figure it out and all these things. Since it is really now digitally scanned, EMR is there, all hospital SI is there. So that is where it will create a futuristic solution. That is what I foresee should be there. Then enhance this care delivery system. So, ma'am, you would be very surprised when I was doing this a smart ambulance. We failed miserably. I don't feel ashamed of doing that. My hope was there in some hospital when that accident happened. So it was that the day we wanted to host it there, and then Kalinga, then Kims. We made it. Three people in Bangalore, one is in Europe healthcare, I'm in Indian healthcare, somebody else in Canadian healthcare. All were all genius people summed up into doing this. We did it. But what are the issue? When we say to adapt it, there was a lot of challenge. So if it was patient centric, yes, patient centric. But who has bought that idea that this is where your patient will be? Because emergency care is not a standardized approach everywhere. Emergency, what is there? Protocols are there. People take care of the people, this thing. But if it's an ambulatory care or an ambulance taking it, all ambulance, most of the hospital you find out is a privatized ambulances, or somebody is running up, or this is the outsource. ambulance services. So in those cases, then you miss out miss out that solution where you give, more of a patient-centric thing. So you have to tell cardiac patient, you create a protocol or digital protocol saying enhanced care delivery system is like for cardiac, neuro, gyno, and this. So then this digital health adoption, national health adoption, you say, or digital health adoption would be there. Their reports should be different by their color, this and that, but their parameters and the story coming out of that report should be one standard. Okay. So bank has only one thing, transactions. Whatever transaction at the end, it says, debit or credit. So you understand it is you lost money or you gained money. So if you say this outcome would be either positive or negative, no, 60, 70, 80% of the medicine reaction, medicine impact, and then this lab report impact, the time lag, all thing can reduce to a point where the future would be much more easy. When I walk into a hospital saying this hospital has what is say, for example, very specifically, burn cases. Burn cases are not treated every hospital. Burn cases are treated in a very specific hospital where it's taken. When we designed that ambulance, we had a hell lot of a difficult time finding out if a burn case where all hospitals. At the last moment, they will deny it. So it is not, we designed something good, but it is not catering to the real requirements of people. It is not patient centric. It was a commercial. Okay. Then even tying up with a hospital, not tying up with a hospital, those bandwagon will come, but it is not serving the real ground reality of the problem. So those are few things. Then standardization of aggregate clinical, operational, IT enabled applications. If you say all labs should have, say GE machines, I take that XYZ, which is defined by regulatory means, which sets a protocol. That protocol is everywhere, every device. They use a reagent, they use a reference range, which is uniform. It is not like for my machine, this is that, for other machine, it is. So this is where I save money or, lower end. No, the quality parameter for all those should be very much stringent. Then it goes when I speak to you, I speak in English, I go to Dr. Jagannath, I speak also same English. Somebody comes and speaks. So there would be no lag and the reiteration of inferences. Somewhere moderate, somewhere high. In 2 hours, that high moderate is not happening. No, it is over a period of time. It has happened. So it is. So those are the future see, I'm not gone to IoT or MIoT or IIoT, industrial IoT or medical IoT, because all these the the breeding the idea is breeding up, but the core ingredient is what is the source of data, how far that is reliable, what is the clarity of that, what is the context. I think I have showed in my PPT. When we talk about wearables, where is the wearable coming? Based on the diagnosis, based on who is using it, that is the pure data point. It is not taking a decision. You may use it, but it sets an alarm. So those are certain characters or criteria. If you built upon, then it will be like you have a diagnostic lab standardized. You have pharmacies who used, that is standardized. Then patient engagement is also standardized. What protocol did Dr. Tripathy does? What Dr. Tripti madam does? What Nikhil does? The same protocol. So we don't treat three different the same patient. If the protocol is same, then our inferences will be same. So that is what is, all your HIS. HIS means I mean to say hospital information system, EMR, PHR, public health records. EMR is electronic medical records. That follows standard protocol. So I go talk to madam. Ma'am, I'm in, let's say madam in Canada, Jagannath sir is there in UK, I'm in India. If I go with my record, talk to madam there, I'm in from India, now I'm getting treated in Canada. The protocol is same. See, understand that. Clinical names are same. The outcomes are, results are very much close enough. So treatment is there. So only maybe variance, the name of brands of pharmacy, this and that would be there. But because the protocol is same. So that is where the whole thing is divided. So I'll not take long time with this. I'll say this is what where I see the future would be, integrated, convergent, and very stable. So to say, for the public here, there is no difference between rural or urban or high tech. This thing, This is because this is what I have always argued with my management, top management. Why there would be a divide? So I don't know. This is what is my perspective of finding out where it is future should be. Then you should have wearables. You should have remote healthcare. You should have telemedicine. You have IoT devices. You should have all your digital twin, which is building up now. So you create your own digital twin for yourself. I have my 20 years of medical record. If I go and show it, people will identify, okay, these are the generic thing he is going through. So similarly, we can evolve over a period of time, and AI is the buzzword now. Everything through AI. So the faster and reachable and outcomes are there. So with this, I say, this is what I perceive the future of healthcare should be there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. As you say that the future ready healthcare system completely depends upon a proper strategy that is on data set and the infrastructure. Because as you said that I have already gone through that stage. On the same day, I had done the test on two different different area, and my result is coming different. So as a layman, I cannot able to understand that which result of my test is correct and which one is incorrect. So that is happening in our India every day, because we
Right.
cannot say that the result of this institution is correct and that one is wrong. We cannot claim that.
Right.
So there is no absolutely correct answer of this. So that you, as the admin of a healthcare sector, as you are maintaining a lot of healthcare, so you are the best person who can give the answer on behalf of the layman, how the layman can able to know that which infrastructure should be used for testing purpose and which should not be used.
Right. Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am.
Okay. Now
I
next
would.
question. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you want
No,
to
no.
say
I would.
something?
No, I would like to get a comment from Tripti madam, because she has been into the medical domain for a quite long time. She would have a little varied or some add-on points, I guess.
Ma'am,
No,
over
I
to you.
think whatever questions and whatever the things Nikhil sir was raising, I completely agree with that. Even Dr. Sumiti was telling, and that is the reason, the technology is coming to assist our medical setup. The thing is, as Dr. Jagannath was telling, the treatment, the results, they are very subjective. It
Mm.
depends on the expertise. It depends on the device you are using. And more than that, it also a lot, it depends on the person who is looking your whole thing. Okay, the expertise of that person. This is the place where technology can really play a very important role. Because the thing is, as Dr. Nikhil was pointing it out, that the main thing lies on the data. And as in my previous session also, I was just explaining this one, that when we talk about AI, AI is something which is totally dependent on the data which you have taken to train it. There comes the ethical responsibility of our domain experts, our medical experts, who should keenly go through the data which we have used to train our model. Because the thing is, that is a really a big challenge we really face, because getting data from the hospital is easy, but annotating those data becomes a challenge. The biggest reason is the doctors are so much engaged that they don't have the time to annotate those data. So
Mm.
we combinedly have to uh, put our hands together. In what way the sources or resources which is available with us can be used to properly prepare a very clean data which can be used by the AI model, and which should be re-engineered. Re-engineering meaning the model which is being designed by a technology person, by an engineer, should be tested back by the domain expert, that is it giving the right one. Then, as I was telling, The AI has to be an explainable AI. It should not be a black box. Because when we should be able to explain to the doctors that why this result has come, they should also agree, yes, this is the reason. I also agree that yes, this is the finding is there because of which this result has come. Because it is their knowledge we are trying to mimic. So if our data is the proper one, if the training of the model is proper, definitely we can give a very good assistance to our medical people. But just training our models on something available on the website and claiming that we are giving you the best one, the acceptability on the clinical side will never come. So we have to work together to make it our design acceptable to our medical setup people. We can't just blame that they are not accepting the technology. Because the thing is, they are basically dealing with the life of the patients. How we can rely on the technology blindly? So we need to join hand. We have to bring them into confidence. And I fully agree with Nikhil sir. There should be a proper standard being made by the government. When the AI is coming into the picture that it should be used by a clinical setup, there should be a defined set of rules. Like when a medicine is being prepared, there is a defined set of rules that they have to go with so many trial phases before bringing it to the market. In the similar way, when the technology is coming into the hospital setup, there should be a multiple phase of trials. Certain standards should be set up. And IoT can be really a very good helping hand when a continuous monitoring is coming into the picture. Because, for a hospital setup, once the patient goes out of the hospital, keeping track of the patient is a big challenge. There comes again the IoT. Many few people are like what Nikhil sir was telling, that he is having a complete record of his whole healthcare. Hardly in India, you will find hardly 2 or 3% of the people who are so conscious that they are having the complete record of that thing. So for these all things, definitely technology can play a very important role. But the thing is, we have to sit together and we have to bring that multidisciplinary environment to come up with all these challenges, which Dr. Sumati also was raising, that one lab setup has given a different result, another has given to another one. The reason is it is very subjective variation. The expert who is looking after your things can give you, because the person who is collecting your samples, it depends on that also. Who has collected, what measurement the person has taken, what type of testing is being performed by the microbiologist. So the result depends on multiple factors. And if we are able to reduce this human intervention, definitely the chance of error, I won't say the error can be 100% removed, but the probability of such type of large variations can be reduced. Hope you both will agree with that, what I have told.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely wonderfully. You have pinned down, you nailed the topic actually. I'll put this word because we have been roaming around, but you said the real fact, which is the bullet's eye, which is a bull's eye on the on the topic. Thank you
Yeah,
for
definitely.
adding
I
up
would
this
like
thing.
to hear from Dr. Jagannath also, because he is a
Sure,
clinician,
ma'am.
he better understands. Yeah.
Yes, madam, I fully support.
So, madam, I
Yes, fully support.
completely agree with you as well as with Nikhil sir, because the data set is the building block of all the model that has to be taken care properly, and there should be a standard benchmark on the infrastructure that is being used in the medical setup. Now, next question goes to Dr. Jagannath. Sir, how do you foresee the role of robots in surgery and rehabilitation evolving over the next decade, especially in cardiac and critical care? Sir, over to you.
The next decade will be defined by a shift from assistance to integration and autonomy. We'll move beyond the master-slave tele-manipulator which we use today. In cardiac surgery, we'll see the rise of use of micro robotics and single port access. Instead of multiple incision for robotic arm, we will have a single entry point with a miniature and tentacle-like robot deploying inside the chest to perform complex surgery such as bypass or valve repair without any external trauma. Further, we have augmented reality which overlays will project the vital anatomical data like blood flow and plaque deposition from pre-op scan, generally for coronary artery disease. And it directly directs surgeon's view on the patient's heart in real time. In critical care and in critical care rehabilitation, the evolution is towards a adaptive and data-driven system where we use a robotic exoskeleton which do not provide a repetitive movement, but we use AI to read the patient muscle EMG, that is electromyograph signals, and that adapts and supports in real time. Personalizing neuro rehabilitation, generally in stroke patients, generally mostly in stroke patients. And in ICU, we have a closed loop system where we can use robot where the robots manages a ventilator, mostly mechanical ventilator, and it is mainly for respiratory failure patient where the oxygenation is problematic. We use mechanical ventilator, and for augmenting oxygen in blood, and we use a particular device that is called PEEP, that is called positive end expiratory pressure on continuous, mostly in the arterial blood gas, which is an inline sensor, a robotic system that the robotic system automatically turns it on. So these are some of the system mainly in rehabilitation in ICU where we use robots. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. This is actually little enlightening us because what all are going on the technology world in the clinical inside our operation theater, we never get an idea to know what is happening. It's a dark
Hey,
world for us.
sir, you might be knowing that most of the ICU patients they are bedridden.
Right,
There are chances that the pressure sore may, what you
hmm.
call as bed sore, that is called in
Right, right.
medical term, pressure sore or a bed sore may develop over a period of time because there is the blood flow is to that area is compromised. So to
Right.
know that we have a real-time skin perfusion data by which we can
Hmm.
analyze and we can sense and we can treat that. These are the common things which you use in ICU and in OT, operation theater.
Right, right.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insight inside the ICU. Now, next question goes to Dr. Tripti. Madam, what are the biggest challenges in ensuring interoperability among different IoT devices used in hospitals and home monitoring setups?
I think
Ma'am,
Dr.
over.
Sumiti, in my previous thing also, I was just highlighting, so I won't be taking much time in answering this one. So the biggest hurdles are, as Nikhil sir was telling, heterogeneous device standards. Each hospital use a different device. It's not only different devices, but the standard wise also they differ. This basically affects the overall diagnostic process, overall treatment process. So that is the biggest hurdles, that are heterogeneous device standards are there. Proprietary data formats are there. Each hospital, each clinicians have their own way of collecting the data, and lack of unified communication protocols. Fine. Even means in hospital, because I closely work with the doctors, I know that when you go to one hospital, the way they gather the datas, they keep the datas, that differs from the another hospital. So as a technology person, see, we cannot change the whole infrastructure of the hospitals, but it becomes our core responsibility how to develop the models so that it can take all these challenges into consideration. Still, we are able to give a generalized model. Because, by the time we are going to bring the homogeneity among all the devices and the different standards, different data formats in which each hospital should collect, because this is a not in a day you cannot bring that policies. So as a technology person, because we can't stop our work, we should try to develop a technology which can give a generalized model taking all these challenges into consideration, which will ensure interoperability, requires which is national level standards, secure APIs, and vendor neutral health data frameworks. Because each vendor have their own formats. So I feel because the thing is, it all depends. If you will go to the, and that is one of the reason, where we as a patient prefer to go to the private hospital in spite of the government hospitals, because they are using the much more advanced, much more formatted thing in comparison to the government hospitals. So, but the thing is, if you see the Indian scenario, affordability wise, cost wise, most of the patients in general, the Indian public prefer to go to the government hospitals. Although the facility wise, the private hospitals are much more better. So our challenge as a technology people comes into the picture, that in the current setup also, how we can bring up our technology which can be generalized, and we can reach not only to the very organized hospital setups, but even to the unorganized one. So that is what I feel, that in this heterogeneous environment also, because we are thinking, and as Mr. Nikhil was telling, that, in the India, there is a different scenario. When you go out of India, that is a different scenario. But the challenge is in this varying scenario of India, even if you will go from one hospital to another hospital, there is a lot of variations. There is a lot of heterogeneity. Though the technology challenge now comes into the picture, with considering these heterogeneity, how we can bring a generalized solution to our clinicians. So I think that is a very crucial responsibility of we being the engineers. So I think both the co-panelists will agree with me this one.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely wonderfully said, ma'am. This is the key thing which is need to be looked upon. This is the key thing. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining the way how do we maintain interoperability among different IoT devices. Now, next question goes to our next member of the panel, that is Nikhil sir. Sir, is it really possible to accept a digital twin concept where
Yes.
patients seek physical attendance?
Yes, ma'am. Since I said in both of my topics in digital twin, this is something new sounding of. But actually, the part is we very normal way lived day to day life. We have got twins. Twins means it's a copy of the same thing or similar way look and feel, and approximately it behaves like same way. So this is where actually clinically what you do, you create your own thing, which is all informations are there. See, digital twin has two part of it. I have not gotten the designing now, because I'm trying to prepare something for a group of people overseas. So it is, one is statistical data model. So we have cases, we are taking it. So similarly, we try to classify them. Okay, so we will have this scatter diagram, this and that. We find out which location, what disease patterns, and what is the age, what is the gender. All I go over that one. That anybody can do because if you give the right data, right things may come out. Second thing is a digital twin embodies which a virtual replication of a human organ, otherwise a tissue, otherwise you can cells or micro environmental that continually adapts to a real-time data variant. Okay, so this data variant is the key factor which says real-time data, variations and predicts corresponding future scenarios. So what we are looking for data is basically, when I come, then you dissect and find out, get my records and do this. Instead of that, all these things are already established and given there, and it is available to that. So when a doctor sees my this information, he knows how do I will behave in certain conditions, scenarios, clinical conditions, as well as environmental conditions, psychological condition. So he can predict what can be the next set of course of action he can take. However, digital twins actually mere digital models. These are literally digital models of the same human being, either the organ or a tissue or the wholesome body of that, which we want to predict or want to take care by the set of digital treatment. Okay. So real life counterparts through emerging technologies, we can design that by IoT, sensors, 24 hours I'm sensing, put a sensor to find out how my sleeping pattern is, my day-to-day activities, my posture is, my blood pressure is, my, my BP, water content, moisture, this, what I showed, that variables, the shirt I'm wearing, it takes my heart rate, my BP, my the pedometer, like how much I worked, what is the metabolism and all. So that all detail is stored in one point in a place where when we go back, say this patient has come, these digital parameters for over a period of time is there. So you do some kind of predictive analytics, which if you click up a button, it gives, okay, his symptoms may be XYZ, and then doctor understands these symptoms. If he gets to know, immediately he can say, okay, this is the course of action or a protocol I'm going to treat him. He need not come to the hospital, he can be treated there. Just relax, go do this thing. If it is certain kind of symptoms which shows the patient is very critical, has to be admitted, because next phase is just a risk of operating him out in for a particular scenario. So though that is what is there, then it emerges as a very very scientific and intelligent and evolving model capable for optimizing processes and continuously forecasting future states. That is clinical conditions, I mean to say. What would be the next step? What would be next step? So digital twin will come say, okay, after 1 hour of this cardiac arrest, these are the symptoms, it will go down. Then next 1 hour delay, this will go down. If this medicine is taken first 1 hour, it will go down 40%. Like this kind of certain kind of things, which is forecasting of future states such as defects, damages, failures, through a closed loop interaction between digital twin and the surrounding environment. So basically, we say, some patient, something has met with an accident. If you have every record, you can say if these symptoms are there, you may next see, his kidney is going to fail. So get ready within a kidney doctor and get sorted out or start treating parallelly for the kidney issue. If that phase is passed out, like you overcome that stage where treatment is not done that, then you may be saying, there may be a, brain stroke is a probable condition. So you get to know, if a brain stroke has to be there, doctors know what to be done. So they align people, they're operationally okay, and then technically and clinically, these are the protocols we have to maintain. These are the protocols to be done. So they get ready. What it is digital twin is, you are not getting everything in one go. If it's a heart critical patient, you keep that. If it's a kidney patient, you keep that. So you know exactly your specific conditions, then what next phase will come. See, for example, I'll tell you one scenario. It is with me and my own family. So my daughter is hardly 10 years. When she was just 7 years, 6 7 years pre-COVID time. I had a curiosity of this thing what I'm talking now. So I did a DNA sample from saliva. I realize at a point people has their opinion saying if you know there is a critical disease, this is a critical disease, you will be emotionally broken, this, that, everything. Then I defied every term. I say the language is basically this is very unethical, but we say go to hell. I will do. I want to find out what is there. If you see has really has some critical disease, now is the time I need to know. Why I will get to know 10 years later? Then I'll say this happened, God, this, that, doctor, everything. I'll roam around. So let me know now. Suddenly, I realize he will never be looking fat. So if he's thin, I'm not bothered now. You see the condition? Okay. So I'll not make her, obese. So if she gets into obese system, the design DNA is designed so once he gets obese, we cannot get her out of that. So what I'm doing? Nothing. I know the condition is like this. When she gets into a little bit of obese condition, so I go and make her run around and get engaged into this. So my plan of engaging them, knowing this thing is, bit of habitual digital twin. You can say the habit wise. I know these are the parameters. She will be one of the psychological condition has come out. She has a lot of focus, which very rarely people may have it. But once she is a little away from that thing discarded by anybody, she will not like to go and join the class. Understood? So when she is missing few classes, I'm always concerned why what has happened. One such scenario came where 40 days I have to watch her, get her, and I stayed in the school just to say. See, 40 days he did not go. Dr. Pai is the best friend. You are our clinician. My daughter's best friend is Dr. Pai, who is the pediatrician. He knows how to treat my daughter. So he will talk something weird thing, food, this and that. Then she is all fine. Why did not you go to school? No, my teacher told me this thing, that thing. So this is the example I'm saying. This is statistical data, which from a DNA report, and I got to know this is how I need to get handle this condition. So, ma'am, digital twin is really a good budding up concept, and that is what will help personalized care. That is for sure. That is where we are coming back. This IoT and AI is going to revolutionize this because that is where constant monitoring data can be pulled out, and wearables will come into the forefront of this activity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nikhil sir, for your valuable information about digital twin, and you have shared your personal experience with all the participants. Thank you so much. Now the next question goes to Dr. Jagannath. Sir, what are the major clinical safety concerns when integrating robotics and automation into real hospital settings? Sir, over to you, Jagannath sir.
Here, safety is paramount, and our concern are multi-layered. First one is cyber security, and number two is automation bias and skill atrophy. For example, if there is a human tendency to overtrust the machine, the clinician might defer to robot's action without sufficient critical evaluation. Further, over reliance on automation can lead to descaling of our workforce. And what happens when robot fails and the surgeon has not performed the manual surgery in almost 5 years, then he will definitely feel he will have a fear psychosis. And number three is latency and system failure. In telesurgery, generally there is even a few millisecond of latency can lead to disaster. We must have a flawless, redundant communication network. Further, all systems must be graceful failure models. If the robot lost the power, it must lock in place or easily, rapidly disengage without causing injury. Otherwise, it may harm the patient. Fourth one is inoperability and digital swap. So these are the four major, I can see, these are the four major clinical safety concerns when we are integrating robotics and automation into our real hospital setting. Thank you, madam.
Thank you all the panel members. Thank you so much for your valuable insight. Now we will open the floor for question from participants. You may raise your hand or post question in the chat. I will direct them to the respective panel member. Over to participants. One question has come from one of the participants. Is it federated learning that is confidential and privacy of a patient data must be maintained? This is to Tripti ma'am, I hope.
Yeah, the thing is, as I told, yes, we as a technology people are taking whatever challenges. I was very keenly hearing to Nikhil sir and Dr. Jagannath. So to capture all these things, the technology is evolving. And federated learning is one of the technology which is in the low cost devices. It can be incorporated and it is more secure. Fine. So definitely federated learning is one of the technology which we are adopting so that we can enhance the efficiency of these the AI models in terms of their prediction along with that of the cost also. And keeping in track what was being raised, the security aspect, which plays a very important role when we talk about that of the your clinical data or the data related with the patients. And I should also add to what Nikhil sir was pointing it out. So it is again a responsibility of the technology people to take care that when we are putting some informations, it should be a reliable information. Because as I was hearing Dr. Nikhil sir that he exploded through the net and he went into the depth and then he did whatever things. So what I will request the technology people is we should have a streamlined dashboards and intelligent triaging can filter only clinically relevant alerts, reducing the cognitive loads on the providers. Because, I was just hearing Nikhil sir that how he explored during that tough time and he got the informations because, sometimes this extra informations which we provide, it becomes a headache for the doctors also.
Right.
I hope Dr. Jagannath agree with that because we digest a lot of things. Uh, so on the technology part, I think it becomes our responsibility that if we are providing certain informations to our users, we should give a thought that how the dashboard should look, what information should go, because I should say AI never like if nowadays people are talking about the LLM models, Chat GPT.
Mm.
Chat GPT is, if you are really using very well, it's an excellent tool, but Chat GPT never claims that whatever it is giving is a truth. So we should basically educate the people that if you are using the technology, to what extent it should be used. And as Dr. Jagannath was raising, you should not blindly have a faith on technology. So that becomes a combined responsibility of all of us, those who are on the administration side of the hospitals, those who are the clinical domain experts, and those who are building the technology, that we should not give a wrong impression to our users. So it should be a very balanced uses of the technology for whatever purpose we are using. And that was one of my topic which I covered in my last session which was from 2 to 3:30, that how responsibly the technology should be used in the healthcare. So I think, Madam, that is the answer from my side to the all the participants. Yes. So I think someone is asking one more question. How do we confirm about the medical infrastructure standards? See, it cannot be done by 1 or 2 person. I think Nikhil sir will be the right person to tell.
Yeah. I'll just give a I can say not 100% true or not 100% false. It is a balanced approach you have to take it. See, medical infrastructure in Western world can be standardized, told, and this because it is all provider space. Provider means what we say insurance here. US says Medicare, Mediclaim, and all these things. We say that provider space. So for any small thing, there is standard protocol. Okay, so you have to wait for a patient, and this here you wait for 10 minutes. You may go, do the you will be out of your normal human being. You become a superhuman that day to reach to the doctor. That is what is the emotional quotient we carry when we see anybody. So that is where we have been given specific treatments in Apollo. I've got a number of trainings where it says we are emotionally very, very, very balanced and dealing in a situation. We are trained like that. So we don't get panicked by any situation, nor we are bothered by them, but we try to cater them, cool off them, saying, be normal, people are there to treat you. You have come to the best place. Why you are so worried? So that was the approach we take it because you are in the safe hands of not one doctor. And multiple doctors, multiple specialty infra is there. You are inside the gym. Every equipment you want, it is there. So like that. So I mean to say, coming back to this infrastructure of standards in India, if what is the scale of business you are doing, you look into that, you do that infrastructure wise. See, you should have at least, there are certain parameters. Let us say we have one thing in Hyderabad, it was there, and I think, see, some interaction MD says, when my power goes, I just count 1 to 20. By the time power should be up. Actually, it happens. They have made a quality or a criteria that, OT somebody is there 10 seconds, 5 seconds matters. So by counting 10 minutes, 10 seconds, everything is up again. So similarly, when you say infrastructure standards, see, you understand 2, 3 part of it. One is infrastructure for what? Medical side, your backbone support, your internet, telemedicine. If you are in that business, you should have a strong backbone, and there is a not only one. You switch over to the other network as well. So wherever there is a communication gap issue, you switch over. That is one setup. Other thing is when you have how many bedded hospital, your infrastructure, because medical standard, if you say, you define what is your medical strength. You say 250 bedded hospital. 250 bedded hospitals, you say 10% would be your operational beds less. 210, 250, 240, 230 is the maximum you can get occupied. So you should have one server, there should be a backup server, and then there should be, how many concurrent users are logging in. So, 9 to 11, we have 250, but our hospital is 350 bedded, you say concurrent users is 2000. Because the billing is doing, then your operation theater is doing, your doctors are logging in, and everybody. So that is where you have n number of parameters which you find out. Actually, there is no right answer to this. It's like a case study. You can justify where you want to be. But you can say there should be no privacy lag. There should not be any security issue. That can be standardized. Put it, and there is no data breach. There is no one more thing was there. Latency time, you can put it. My system will not go down. So these are few parameters which can standardize at this point of time. Like 99.99% it is up. But if you say the bulk of volume, the kind of activity you are doing, and if it's a high tech, like what is there, AI enabled and all these things, you should have that much of memory and the consumption of power is there. But at present, you say based on your hospital capacity, you do this. Second is based on your business domain, what all in the spread of business, I say whether it's a primary care, take a secondary care or tertiary care, you have to have those things. If it is more of equipments integrated, you should have one more level of challenges where you should have a separate server. So for to say, infra wise, how we have done it, I'll tell it. So you take the takeaway, how you get it. If otherwise, you can contact me directly. See, we see management want a set of reports every time. Clinicians want to see a lab report later. So you got a reporting server for lab people. So it is not making my system here and there. When lot of concurrent users and reports are coming, 3,000 reports will come in one point of time in the evening, 5 to 6. So 1 hour is cluttered. So we have planned it like infrastructure for reporting server, clinical servers, and this, and we have multiple servers, scattered across six domains. What is there? Eastern zone, Western zone, Central zone, Northern zone. All these things are, and there is a data center, and we have always have a fallback option. So these are the basic things which you consider. And to answer you, is there infrastructure standards? If you say 250 bedded, it's a consulting assignment from PwC or other, where you will get it. Infrastructure people will say, okay, this is the capacity. How many bedded hospital? What all specialty you have? What all operations you are doing? What is your OT time? What are the equipments? Based on that, that standardization can be done. It is a customized standardization. It is not a global standardization. You have to have it. It's not a car manufacturer.
Yes,
Where
I
you
want
have Europe.
I want to add one with respect to standard. We have a NABH standard with respect to
Yes.
hospital standard NABH.
Yes.
With respect to international standard, we have a JCI, Joint Secretary Commission, JCI standard. So these are the few standards. In diagnostic, we have NABL standard.
Yes.
So these are
Yeah. For infrastructure, actually, we follow ITIL principles. Okay, ITIL is a hardware auditing this thing, and for that we say ISO 27000 is one more standard which is there, but it doesn't say about infrastructure. These are all process based. Your vendor should be have a compliant, or like this is there. So that is there. So just to say and come back to this, there is no global one-line standard statement for IT thing. It is based on your capacity and futuristic where you are scaling up. If your scalability, what would we use there? See, for coming 5 years, what would be your standard? So accordingly, plan your infrastructure.
So the last question is there. Dr. Jagannath, would you like to answer it? The question is, what is the accuracy percentage
Required to a
required to a
model?
model so we can say that
can
it
you-
is reliable?
Can you repeat, madam?
I think you are the right person to give the answer
Yes,
on
ma'am.
this.
Yeah, I'm the right person, but I wanted if Dr. Jagannath, because the thing is, I will give the answer related with doctors only. So the thing is, see, we are developing the technology by collecting the data from our doctors. And I would like to cross question Dr. Jagannath. Is there any doctor who can take care of the patient to 100% accuracy?
I don't think, madam, because
Yes.
technology is
So,
evolving.
sir, that is the answer to this question. See, we are training with the doctor's data. We all are human beings. We are not God. They are not Bhagwan. Doctors are also not Bhagwan, but yes, with their expertise, with their experience, basically the predictive probability of accurately predicting the patients or diagnosing increases. And that is the reason as a patient, we normally prefer to go to an experienced doctor. Because that is our mind setup, that if it is a senior person, experienced person, definitely their predictive probability is good. So if we cannot have the doctors who can give 100% accuracy, it's impossible on the part of an engineering person to design an AI model which can be 100% accurate one. So hope you have got my answer. Because
Right,
they are
ma'am.
also human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there was a saying, if you dare to scale the height. So the scale is always going up and up. So even if today you meet 100%, tomorrow it is 90%.
Yes,
Again,
yes,
you graduate
definitely,
to the next level.
definitely. And that is where the research comes into the picture. That
Right,
where the
absolutely.
research comes into the picture. As a researcher, if we are able to design a model which is with 100% accuracy, research will stop. Whether it is a
Right.
robotics application or anything, None of them can be 100% perfect. Under
Yeah.
certain circumstances, we can claim, yes, the prediction can be this much. And that is the reason what I told, there should be something what we call the trials. AI model trials should be made in the hospital setup to
Right.
confirm that yes, under these all situations, up to this extent, the model is going to give you the 100 this percentage of accuracy. And after that, it is again the responsibility of the clinician to put a signature. You know, as Dr. Jagannath was telling, a lot of reliability comes on the automation by the clinician. That is again a question mark. It should not be a blind reliability. Model is giving you something, they are assisting you. As a doctor, it becomes ethical responsibility of the doctor to cross check that report and put the signature in spite of blindly having a faith on any of the automation. I think all of us will agree with this one.
Yes,
So
yes, ma'am.
AI is just to assist, not to replace the doctors.
Right,
Because
right.
there are certain factors, as Mr. Nikhil also was telling, it is emotionally inbuilt in us. And
Hmm.
mimicking that features is not so easy on the technology part.
Right.
Right? So we should not have a blind rely on the technology. We should only assist, and that is how the things can be done.
Right, right, man. That is absolutely right. Because
Yes.
yes, yesterday, most probably day before yesterday, I showed something, which Microsoft is doing, then mapping. And it has been done, around they have got, 40,000 cases, 100 countries they have tried. That means the variation if they have taken is quite humongous.
Yes. Yes.
So, from there also they found out, still it is evolving because biosensors are, interacting with the people in a different way, and people's thought process is different. So even if the same patient he says, "Ki I'm okay." Okay, one guy
Yes.
is there. Another person says, I'm trying to catch up with everything. He's in a learning mode now. The another is already left the hope. I'm no more existing, but I will be surviving for next 5 years, but I'll be carrying no hope with me. So that is where that emotional and the responses will vary. Even
Yes.
the
Yes.
case
Yes.
condition is remains same, which was
Yeah,
my, for
definitely.
me, for me, it was an eye opener. I should not think what I know technologically, biosensors, this or that profiling is very good aligned. No, 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 no. The
No, it's
responses are
perfect
different
thing.
for them. Yes.
Yes, it is very
So,
different. It's very
yes,
different. And that is the reason we tell that God has made human being as the most intelligent creature.
right,
And
right, right,
machines can never replace us. Machines
right,
can
right,
never replace our intelligence, because our
right, ma'am.
intelligence is something which is unpredictable. As you are telling, the biggest factor as a human being, we are having the emotions.
Right,
And that plays a very important role in any of the work, even if it is related with health. As you are telling, someone has
right,
got a strong head, I will be
right,
cured, I'm going to
right, right,
survive this many. So that
right, right,
plays a
right.
very important role.
I believe people, this
One of the
team.
participant, sir Nikhil sir, sorry for interruption. One of the participant is anxiously waiting to ask a question to Dr. Jagannath sir.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
Yeah. Okay, I'm Dr. Namita Mohanty from the Department of English. This is not my area, I know, but the subject interests me, and I would like to know, is there any instance where a machine has addressed an unannounced emergency?
Can you repeat, madam? One time.
Yeah. Do we have an instance as of now where a machine has taken care of an unannounced emergency, medical emergency? Am I audible now?
On what is that? On
I mean, an
Unannounced
emergency,
emergency.
unannounced emergency. Yeah. As
Yeah,
such,
it is.
emergency is unannounced, but yeah, because we understand something is scripted to the machine, only then the machine is able to, what I understand. But if something is not fed to the machine, I mean, with the advent of AI and all, do we
Mhm.
have an instance where the machine has taken care of such emergency where it is not scripted into it, something? and it has acted on its own.
I think all is data driven. What I think is because if you
Yes.
put the data,
Hmm.
then
Yeah.
the machine will work. What is, madam? What is your opinion?
Yeah, yeah. Dr.
I'll,
Namita,
I'll,
I would like to answer this one. See, I told when we talk about machine learning, it's not what you have coded, it gives you. It learns from the data, and what situation you are telling is definitely possible when we are using the AI.
Yes.
Okay, it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Without
ma'am.
data,
And that is what is the artificial intelligence is. It is not like a normal program. What you have taught it, it will only answer you that. No, it's not
Yeah.
like that. When we talk about AI, it learns from the data which directly, what Dr. Jagannath also told, that it is being trained. So data plays a very important role when we talk about machine learning algorithms. It is not a coded
Right,
one.
right.
Right.
Okay, its learning changes, as Mr. Nikhil also was telling, that it changes from time. It's not
Yes,
static learning.
yes,
It's a very
ma'am.
dynamic learning.
Yeah, ma'am,
Yes.
I'll share him something which may she is expecting an answer. I'll say, see, ma'am, I forgot your name, but I'm telling there is some concept now coming up with the command center, like defense
Okay.
command center where they monitor everything. The healthcare is coming like that for emergency and other. So it is
Yes.
remotely monitored for patients and critical patients. Okay,
Okay.
in that case there is a range fit in. Okay, so range is fit in and the frequency is fit in, which we try to do is something called the name was given ICU, not ICU is capital I, capital C, capital U. It is I is a letter I, SEC, U is ICU. Okay, YOU. I'll get that EICU concept bringing it here. The pain scale looking at a face, the expression, if the patient is there, that facial expression is now AI built face pain scale which is there, so that can be pushed internally saying there is an alert to the nursing desk. It has been tried and tested. Second thing is their command center is there, which is maintained in Hyderabad, one place. So where Sikandrabad is the place where all hospitals thing is there. There in the night, and the ship's doctor and MBBS doctors and this pharmacists are there. What has been dispensed? So it is like all Jigmo kind of all blinking this and that, but somewhere it gives a alert automatically saying this patient's heartbeat is time and again the frequency is 10 and more. So then it puts a alarm. But it is
Okay.
not going to a doctor, but it's coming to the command center from digital devices. So there they are there to take it. Oh, this is an emergency case. They try to immediately try to read the records and then let's say you are the doctor, madam. In the night, if I say my patient is this and that, you will have nowhere to answer what you will because you are not there. But at the same time, if I say, ma'am, the pulse rate is gone to this much, his BP is going down like this, and his this medication is given with 40 mg, but it is not responding. What should I do? Then you immediately find out saying, okay. You go for there may be a certain cardiac arrest things are there. You just try to get what is the respiratory thing we do. Then you do the this thing, do the this thing that. So this is possible and it is happening. Okay, personalized care, there are certain devices people are now buying it out for that. So it is there. That is where the digital twin will do the same. What you are asking, I have told a few, think back, where I get to know all your symptoms, whether you are in home, hospital, or gone to a outside, somewhere for a visit. So we get to know the symptoms, then immediately it is alerts. So that is where a lot of personal care devices are coming up now. So some point of time, we get a patent on saying that this is what we are doing here. Then people get the idea of using it. So
Yes.
that is the
data
line we
train
are
should
in.
be there. Data
Sorry, sorry.
trains, what you told, data sensor or data train should be there to machine
Yeah,
to act. Otherwise,
yeah.
machine cannot act on its own.
On its own. On
Right,
its
right.
own.
Ma'am, I will tell you, so, I was very, very, very lucky and privileged. I'll say, the words will have nothing to say, madam. No word will substitute that. Dr. Bala Balachandran. If you see MBA Google, Dr. Bala Balachandran was there, who is the Kellogg's emeritus professor. He was a defense personnel who left his short-term defense career after 8 or 10 years and went to US and did he's an MBA person. He's fortunately, his in-laws, his son-in-law, brother-in-law, these are like people are there 8 or 9 doctors in the family. He said some point of time when I met him in Chennai, he said, Ki, Nikhil, I am not surviving. There is somebody sitting in USA is controlling me. I just took it, senior person, and we gone for a startup requesting, asking who made, Tata this Indigo turnaround story. So we had a lot of hopes and going, what we are doing, are we in the right step or wrong step? So at a point of time, he said, I said, sir, why are you joking? We are in serious problem. We wanted to know whether we'll survive or not. Then he said, literally, I've got a device implanted in my heart, which is monitored there. If the BP goes high, they will say, do this thing, that thing. So he showed me a kit. But then I was not able to connect it, but I could realize there is certain thing, existence who is monitoring you outside and they are telling you just do this, you do that. You will say, no, now is the time I cannot work, I have to sit. After 10 minutes, I'll go. So, certain things which inducing, it was there. Western world is at least 20 years ahead of time, what we are now. And there are certain things will come up. And ma'am, to answer you, if I say very positively, it is going to be the future thing where it will automatically push you saying, your son is fallen down and he needs attention.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the clarity. That was very interesting explanation. Thank you so much. Okay, we have some more questions perhaps.
Yeah, anybody, any question you can throw it here.
I think in the chat box, some questions are there perhaps.
That is for ma'am, I believe Tripti madam can say this. Yes, ma'am, I want to ask the.
I think this is to Dr. Jagannath, whether doctors' own right sense of perception and interpretation and sensibleness helps in achieving max accuracy level in curing the disease. Yes, this is what I think I explained you. For maximum level of accuracy, it is required that final decision has to be not the machine. They should be the doctors. I'm repeatedly telling machines are there to assist the doctors. As a human being, they have got their own constraints. We feel that doctors do not get tired, but that is not a fact. As a human being, yes, although they are able to give more time than us, more patience they are having than us. Being the engineers, I think we don't have that much of patience. They are having more patience, but still they are human beings. They have got their own bottlenecks. So if a person is seeing 100 patients in a day, we feel that each of us should get some time from doctors. They should give 10 minutes at least to talk to us. But it's not possible. They have got their own intelligence. They talk to the patients who really require their time. Other patients, if they feel that it is a very minor thing, they will just write in the prescription and they will say bye to you. So we as a patient do not understand, but that is a human requirement. So definitely here as a technology people, we can assist. We can give them a cue that out of 100, these are the people who need more time of yours and others. So that will basically help them to plan their whole things very easily. So doctor intervention at last is very much required to increase the accuracy level in curing the patients. Yes, that I agree.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, another question, I hope this is for Jagannath sir. The participant name is Asam Kumar Sarangi. He has asked the question, what is the difference between normal range and optimal range when looking at my lab results?
Normal range?
And optimal range.
Normal range and optimal range.
What is the difference between normal range and optimal range when looking at my lab results?
Actually, we don't tell, it is a range only, not, we tell is normal, not optimal. We have a range that is, for example, our WBC count should be between 4,000 to 11,000. This is the normal reference. For example, that WBC number of WBC in our body must be between 4,000 to 11,000 per cc of blood. So this is the normal range. Optimal normals are almost same. Exactly.
I think, sir, I can add to it.
Yes.
As I was just telling that as a technology people, the biggest challenge what we face is there is no standard way the report will be given, which I think Mr. Nikhil also was addressing it. So the
Right.
thing is, it depends from hospital to hospital that what type of format they are using. So I don't think there is a very standard way Dr. Jagannath can tell you that what exactly the normal and optimal means. It depends on the lab from where you have done the testing, what exactly they mean by writing this one. Isn't that, Dr. Jagannath?
Yes, madam. Because lab to lab there is they vary in with
Variations.
respect to calibration. Calibration, there are some instruments
Yes,
which should be
yes,
calibrated.
yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's
So,
the value may vary from one
and
lab to
these are the certain challenges as a technology people we face when we gather the data from the different labs, from the different hospital setups, because there is no very structured format. You need to understand each one of them. You have to bring it to a standard format because when we are talking about machine learning algorithms, we have to bring it in a standard format, so that we should have a uniform information for all the patients' data which we have gathered. So this is a variations from lab to lab, I
Mm.
think.
Yeah, yes,
Ashok.
yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely correct. Currently, we need the standard infrastructure. That is the basic requirement of the medical health sector. Because we cannot compromise on the medical sector because we all know health is more precious than anything else. So thing is that as we completely depends upon the test, basing upon the test result, we are concluding something. So if the test result is not coming accurately, so we won't be able to do the correct diagnosis. So by that way, whatever technology we will be implementing by using AI or IoT, that will have no use because the thing is that the test result is the soul. Basing upon that, we can come to the conclusion. So urgently we need the standard format of the infrastructure. Then only we can able to come to a standard format of implementing our medical health sector. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but
No, Dr. Sumati, I will add to it. Actually, the thing is now, we as a technology people cannot wait for standardization. We have to take all of this as a challenge, that the data are in a very unstructured form and they are very heterogeneous in nature. We should think of the our pipeline which can handle all these challenges. And these are the challenges normally we specify. These are the challenges. Our model is able to handle these challenges. So like in general word, I should say missing values and all those things which we people speak about, it refers to all these challenges. Okay, so we have to do the pre-processing, bring it into a standard form, and with the current infrastructure, with the current facility itself, we should think how our models can overcome these challenges and bring to a generalized model. We can't wait for standardization of all these things. By that time, the research will be over.
yes, ma'am. As we comes under the technology part, so we should try our best and we should accept these challenges and try to solve it.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I hope there is no other question from any other participants. Now over to Namita ma'am.
Thank you so much, esteemed panelists. So the discussion on future of healthcare technology innovations, challenges, and the road ahead was so very interesting. I thank Dr. Tripti Swarnkar, professor from NIT Raipur, for joining us today, along with Mr. Nikhil Ranjan Nayak, GM, Corporate IT and Systems, Apollo Hospitals, Dr. Jagannath Tripathy, consultant, cardiac anesthesia and critical care, Apollo Hospitals. I thank all of you from the core of my heart for giving us such insights on the subject and giving us a clarity and understanding on the subject so that we can have a better understanding on the subject and move ahead. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you to my co-panelist. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
It was a wonderful interaction with both of you. And yes, my knowledge also got enhanced with interacting with the domain expert, with the IT infrastructure expert. And thank you to the moderator, Dr. Sumati, for your wonderful questions which was thrown to us. Thank you. Thank you, Trident College, for hosting this discussion.
Thank you to all participants.
Yes, thanks
Thank
to
you.
all the participants. Your questions was excellent, which really twisted us also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all, one and all again, and the madam, panelists, students, and the participants, and the organizers. Very much thankful to the organizers for Trident. You know, Sumati madam is the front face, but at the backstage, as we say, you know, a big hero is a hero where the backstage is ready. So backstage people also, those are not seen. You know, that is where I my heartfelt thanks. And you know, we all can work together for something more, because this is the evolving area. Anybody, everybody, as I said, you know, coexistence, co-creation. So latest,
I
this
think
is where I look.
Mr. Nikhil can better understand the management critics. That's the reason he is thanking the backside people who are managing the whole show. So our heartfelt thanks to all of you.
Yes. Ma'am, to be very honest, saying closing term, you know, when I'm managing 34 hospitals for analytics and all sitting in Bhubaneswar and Hyderabad, I know who all are there, who is dying out for giving me a data. If that
Sir,
data
that
is
is the
not right,
quality of a manager, sir. So in the MBA, that is what is you people have learned. So we can't
absolutely.
expect a clinician to become the engineer. We can't
Yes,
replace the engineers, can't replace
right,
the clinicians, and we both
right,
can't replace the management people. So we all have
absolutely.
got our own roles, and together I think we can really work wonderful things.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you again to
Thank
all,
you.
one and
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you for this seminar as well.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Should we leave?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sure you had a wonderful experience all these 6 days. So we would like to take your record your experiences of these 6 days. So you may please come up with your experiences.
Any participants wants to share their experience about FDP?
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Dipti, and I have been associated with this program, 6 days FDB program, and I would like to share my experience, my grooming regarding this 6 days FDP. Madam, the 6 days FDP has really been very impactful because all the sessions, starting from the first day till अब तक के जो sessions हुए हैं, all the sessions have been very impactful with cutting edge insights into smart health technology and medtech innovations that will 100% support all of us, basically the academicians who are pursuing their research on the sector of health sector. It is going to be very impactful for all of us. Thank you so much, madam, for giving us all the opportunity to be a part of this convergence, jahan pe academicians and doctors have collaborated and shared their insightful and real life interventions, which will really be going to be an impactful for the researchers ahead regarding health sector. Thank you so much, madam.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Myself, Simantika Rai. I must say, all the sessions of these 6 day faculty development programs on this smart health technologies and medtech innovations were really very highly insightful and inspiring. And through the expert guidance of all the speakers, we could enhance our knowledge from artificial intelligence, IoT, cybersecurity, robotics, and many more. And actually, the real world case studies, research experiences of all the speakers have really motivated us to think beyond the traditional boundaries. Thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Anyone else wants to say something about the FDP? Any participant want to say something about the FDP? Please raise your hand.
So as we come to this wonderful FDP, so much of learning has happened. And now I will request the convener of this event, Dr. Sumati Baral, to give a vote of thanks.
Respected principal, distinguished speakers, esteemed panelists, faculty colleagues, and dear participants, a very good evening to all. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of MCA, Trident Academy of Technology, Bhubaneswar. At the conclusion of this AICTE author-sponsored faculty development program on smart health technologies and medtech innovations. First and foremost, we express our heartfelt gratitude to AICTE and Author Academy for granting us the opportunity to organize this FDP and for their continuous encouragement in promoting facility development across the country. Our deepest appreciation goes to our principal, Madam Professor Dr. Maya Nayak and Dr. D.N. Patnaik sir for their constant support, guidance, and motivation throughout this program. We extend our sincere thanks to all our renowned national and international speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge and expertise during each session. Their insight on AI, IoT, telemedicine, robotics, cybersecurity, big data, digital health ecosystem, and medtech innovation have truly enlightened and enriched all participants. A special thanks to our distinguished panelists for their engaging and thought-provoking discussion today. We also acknowledge the contribution of all faculty volunteers, technical support team, and non-teaching staff who work behind the scene to ensure smooth execution of the program. Lastly, we thank all our participants for their enthusiastic involvement, dedication, and active participation throughout these 6 days. Your presence has made this FDP truly meaningful. Thank you all once again. Wishing everyone great success in our professional and research endeavors. Thank you. Thank you all. With this, we officially conclude the AICTE author-sponsored FDP on smart health technologies and medtech innovations. On behalf of Trident Academy of Technology, I extend my warmest wishes to all participants for continued learning, research, and innovation in the field of healthcare technology. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful and peaceful evening. Stay connected, stay inspired. Thank you. The test link will be given to you at 6:30 and the co-coordinator Mrs. Pratiti Mishra will elaborate you all details about how to appear the test and how to submit the test. So please be connected at 6:30 so that before 6:30, just before 10 minutes to be 6:30, so that she will be explaining each and every step how to appear the oral test. Thank you so much, participants.